ever treetop flyer?
I've never heard the song before, but I've flown in planes like that I liked when they was by the trees, but the river was below them. But I've flown with technically Mike Shower, who's a politician up here and a famous fighter pilot from the I guess the Kosovo War. And we went down, and he likes touching the tires to the water and stuff like that. Yeah, he's like
nice.
Yeah, he's like a full-blown fighter ace during the Kosovo War, I believe it was. He was like the first pilot in like decades to get like ace status for, I forget if you have to shoot down like 3 or 5 enemy combatant planes. So
okay, I think you're right. I think it's like 3 or more or something
like
or
that,
maybe
right?
in a certain amount of time. But yeah, that's wow. Either way,
I think it's
badass.
a career thing technically, but he apparently hit the mark. It didn't get hit for a long time, and I crossed paths with him up here doing some search and rescue work for a boy that was missing. So I had communications capacities to help the locals with what they were doing to communicate from the air to other planes down to the ground and stuff. So I jumped in a plane with him at one point. So
you're just flying around with this World War II ace.
No, this is recent. He's
Vietnam ace?
Kosovo.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he's
yeah.
Wow. I'm thinking like this so he was, do you know what he was flying?
I don't know what
like
airframe that he
or
was
something.
In. Probably something like that. Yeah, I mean, he was a full-blown fighter pilot, and he likes flying low, and it was super interesting.
Well, that song is all about staying under the radar because he's got a load in the back. If you know what I'm saying.
That happens up here in Alaska too.
Yeah, got some of that nose candy in the back there. So he's got to keep it under the radar. Treetop.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. So I saw your interview with Kurt Metzger drop, and I was like, oh, this has got to be amazing. How much fun was that doing that with Kurt?
It's a blast. I typically get some phone calls with Kurt. We do a lot more texting. But I love the real-time chats that are more developed because, I mean, I say this lovingly. Kurt's a maniac, so it's like the stuff that comes out of his head, it's like these are the type of people that I really enjoy engaging because his brain is in high gear constantly.
Yes.
And that to me is interesting because effectively what you're witnessing is him connecting the dots. So I know a lot of people find it frustrating to jump from topic to topic, but to me that shows a level of intelligence, and the fact that he's like actually a professional comedian and writer, it's just his brain goes to places other people's brains don't go, and he can do it in a very funny way. I mean, he's super hilarious. Yeah, he's good. He's funny to listen to, like in long form podcasts or even watching like a stand up show of his. Like he's just a hilarious guy. But I'm trying to get him up here to Alaska. He could do some comedy shows, but I would love to have him sit in studio and I'll just put a freaking pile of White Claws in front of him and be like, bro, we're doing a marathon event tonight.
That would be pretty awesome. You probably get some amazing stuff out of that for sure.
That would be it's on my bucket list to have Kurt up here.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're gonna have to try and make that happen somehow.
There you go.
I thought, we could just have a space, play the video. Thank you for joining, and folks can chime in the comments section or send a message. And
so where do folks comment on this? Like, I've seen your live stuff come up on X, but I can never tell where to comment.
Oh, that's my video. So you can go, there's 2 ways you can do it. It's good. All right, y'all. Well, here we go. This is Mr. Hecker and Metzger just this morning. So this is hot off the presses. This should be fun.
Well, my name is Kurt, and I dare petite derp. Oh, won't you come and derp?
with me.
All right, I'm gonna switch over to full screen.
Hawk 2, y'all. I meant to wear my astronaut shiesty for this episode because it's a very special space-based episode, but it's too hot. It's too hot, and I can't. I can't be expected to derp in it. It's just very hot in here, so it's just gonna be good old Hawk 2 hat. And if you're into crypto, I'd like to recommend Hawk 2 coin to everybody out there. Hawk 2 with the moon.
Does he really do Hawk 2?
But we don't have time for that because right now I got to
I
bring.
don't think he legitimately does.
Who you may have heard of as the Raytheon whistleblower. That's where I heard of him, and then I met him because I did Roseanne podcast, and we chat from time to time. And he's done Jimmy Dore show, and he just did my boy Dark Journalist show. So please welcome Eric Hecker, the Raytheon whistleblower from the what was it 2 years ago? It was like an alien titty peak hearings.
Yeah, over in DC.
Yeah, the DC. I'm going to something with Michael Schellenberger tonight, dude, and because that journalist, because he's the one who he was talking about censorship and how California sucks, and then he suddenly was on News Nation talking about the UAP hearings, which again went absolutely nowhere.
Right.
Much like all the hearings.
Yeah.
Went nowhere.
Right.
Why do we even have hearings? Is it just
Oh my God, Eric, did you notice like the UAP DA just died in the background and nobody even talked about it?
Were you truly shocked, Gabe?
Just disappointed. Not shocked, but disappointed.
I would say I completely expected it. I mean, a lot. Yes, I've heard people recently like, oh, the disclosure died. Carnell says disclosure's dead.
No,
it was never alive. It was a con job. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, the fact that people are having conversations about how disclosure is dead kind of just proves that I was kind of right the whole time, that this is a joke. It's a circus.
Yes. But it does. I mean, there's at least people looking around that weren't typically looking around before. So
yeah, but
it's a small game.
People keep saying stuff like that, but you know what? They're now all looking around in the wrong direction, which is exactly what the purpose of these activities were. Everybody got Pied Pipered to the wrong direction. All of their energies and efforts were dissipated / wasted.
Absolutely.
We moved from where we were, but we got moved into the wrong direction. Man, people are deluding themselves. They're deluding themselves. They're trying to rationalize that they didn't waste their time for the last few years putting energy into the con artists that they've pedestalized and spotlighted. Yeah.
And there's some con artists losing their minds over it too. So it's interesting. It's an interesting time right now. Yeah, it's kind of, watching it play out. I can't say it wasn't expected, like you're saying.
Yeah.
When you have a house built on cards, that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Or built of cards. Yeah, foundation and sand. Exactly. Okay. All right. I'll continue this interview here.
To distract me? I don't know.
Curtis, because COINTELPRO said so.
Well, if they think it's best, then I think we should do what they say. So wait, because I remember
Kurt's trying not to get killed
on it was like almost Sean Ryan. That's where it was. So he had three guys that were with Dr. What's his head?
Greer.
Mm-hmm. And they were all interesting stories. I mean, every one of them was an interesting story. One of them was harder to understand, like piece together for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not the guy. Oh, the guy who got held up because they walked out on a triangle ship that had landed, and they were
Herrera.
Yeah, and the other guy though, whose dad was in the military, and then his dad got killed for whatever, and that was a very compelling story. Now,
that was DC Long.
Yeah, I didn't know enough about what's going on at that time to make heads or tails of it. Now I see why they would be killing their own people from this and that. And then your story was, I would say, the most scientific, where we got real science we can look at that shows what you're saying is real, which is very unusual. A lot of these stories are like, I got to just take it all on word, but you know about this stuff. And it's not even your story was like the most easy to believe of all the stories. Like, oh, so Raytheon is doing something untowards in Antarctica. No, I can't believe it. I need better evidence.
Yeah, right. I mean, as if Raytheon isn't in the business of killing people, lying and covering it up as an industry for profit. So I just pointed on a map and was like, here's one of the facilities that they're doing it at, and folks should go investigate.
Were you there when John Kerry went down? He didn't go to the climate summit, the important climate summits that he attends. He skipped it because he had to go to Antarctica to check on the ice. And then I think a week later was Christchurch, the earthquake in New Zealand.
I don't know. I don't believe he was there when I was there. So the earthquakes that occurred in Christchurch were in February of 2011. And I was there from November 2010 to November 2011. So all I know is he wasn't there then, but I can't recall if he was there like just before I got there or just after I left.
He was out there measuring the ice, so you probably wouldn't have seen him. It was a busy day of ice measuring.
Yeah, he was boring down. I do know that Hillary Clinton had made a visit to Christchurch while I was actually being processed to go down south because her Secret Service vehicles, I noticed, were perusing the United States Antarctic Program facility there by the airfield and where they issue us the clothing and stuff like that. I even got a picture. I got a picture of one of the vehicles because I just was like, "Oh, look, that must be ours."
Probably looking for tastier children to recover from the accident.
Oh, absolutely. Looking for appetizers. Some Kiwi kids.
She's always heard it's the New Zealand makes them sweet.
Yeah.
So okay, good. And you've talked about this a lot. I assume people watch my show know a lot of your story. In a nutshell, just in a nutshell, if you had to sum it up real quick for people, because I want to ask about other shit everybody doesn't ask you about.
Yeah, basically, in a nutshell, my experience at South Pole Station for the dates that I mentioned before offered me the experience to be around a lot of stuff that most people don't get to, witness. And the end result of the actual time that I had there, and then post-Antarctic visit research, I basically pulled together that there are what I believe are 3 directed energy weapons systems functioning at the South Pole facility under the false pretense of science.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
Well, weapons are science.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Weapons are a kind of science.
Especially directed energy weapons. It's nothing but science at that point.
Yeah, it's maybe not Havana syndrome, but Antarctica syndrome. It could be. I don't know. Anyway,
could be a combination.
Well, I think they've been using these things for quite some time. We had before I was on Jimmy Dore, he had Bill Binney, Binny, the guy from the NSA, who had thin thread instead of the thing that just collects all the metadata, which is illegal and treason, and everyone involved in that should have been thrown out of office and put in a wood chipper. But this is a nation of cows. Bill Binney, the NSA tried to screw him. I wish I remember the story of how he made sure they couldn't screw him, but they couldn't. Well, before I knew about this and before I saw you, Jimmy tells me he gets a call from Bill Binney and his girlfriend, who's like this Eastern European woman. I mean, it sounded wacky. And he wasn't doing well health-wise. Like, I think his feet fell off, something horrendous. And all these things were happening to him. She said they were using a direct energy weapon on them. The NSA was using an energy weapon on them. Now, at the time, Jimmy's like, what am I going to go on my show and say this? I don't know what this is, right? And it sounded weird to me, too. And I didn't know what to make of it. And then a short time later, we could do a story that the CIA is paying out, what do you call it? Not restitution. When they have to pay you because you got injured on the job. They're paying that out for Havana syndrome, the thing that they just like a month before debunked as not existing. Right. And was just cicada noises or whatever the hell. But they're giving out 6-figure settlements to all the people who were affected by it. So as soon as I heard that, I go, why would they won't even pay settlements on shit that they did do. Right. What is this? And also that's what tells me how it's not Cuba and it's not China and it's not Russia. It's America.
I mean, that's another reason I like Kurt. is because I think the same way about a lot of shit. You know, like this stuff with Venezuela. It's like, no, this is such an obvious deep state. Like they've been wanting Venezuela for a long time. And now they got a guy in there that's going to say, okay. And they're going to push it. I mean, all of a sudden Venezuela goes from a nothing to, you know,
I always think of the movie Half Baked when they talk about the dog and the story of the dog. And then they wrap up.
Killer the dog.
Killer the dog, right? And then when he finished the story, he goes, I think it was more complex than that. More complex than that? But that's like, whenever I hear anything that people are discussing, no matter how wild it is, I just simply want to follow up with, I think it's more complex than that.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So with Venezuela, it's like all the drugs are coming from the southwest border.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we blowing up boats, possibly violating international law coming from Venezuela?
It must be whatever the mass media is telling us.
Yeah,
or the alternative media on the internet that can't possibly be invested in by the exact same agencies for much cheaper and broader,
right? And just telling a different story.
Yeah,
right.
It's COINTELPRO all over again,
providing that alternative reality or whatever, but not the truth. It's not the truth.
No, it's the margin lines that there's text in the middle. There's a margin on the left. There's a margin on the right. The people up top are investing in both margins to contain the conversation between them. If you discuss anything outside of the text, both sides will attack you immediately and say, you don't know what you're talking about. The text in the middle is important. And it's just, it's a total charade.
Yes. And so this is where I have been leaning for a while now. And I think it's pretty close to what you believe, is that this is some kind of a breakaway civilization, right? This
Absolutely.
is like, and there's
a schism in society, the haves and the have-nots, but it's at a massive technological discrepancy.
Yes. Yeah. We are kind of a joke to this group of folks.
Mm-hmm.
I often wonder if they even really commingle with us anymore, or if there's just, they have maybe ambassadors or liaisons. I don't know. It's just strange thoughts I have.
I think it is commingling, similar to, like, I can travel to another country.
Yeah.
I can go to an extremely underdeveloped area. And it's, we actually get to this in the video because it got brought up.
That's awesome. Okay.
It's almost like time traveling. When I visit there, they're so underdeveloped.
Yes.
That I look at them, it's almost like looking into the past. So I believe that there are aspects of our society that are operating with such a level of advancement that when they're commingling with us, they totally look down their noses, and to them, it's like they're time travelers. It's like they're coming from the future.
Yeah,
they're advanced right now,
and we're like damn dirty apes.
Right, and we have no idea who these people are that are technically walking right next to us, but in some measure of the term, it's like they're coming from the future, and we are their past.
Yes, that makes so much sense, and I think aligns with just so many data points, that are out there. And I mean, we can have them all night, but.
And if you've ever traveled into these areas, which I have, like, I often imagine, like, what if I scooped this person right up and then brought them to where we live? Would they not feel like they just stepped into the future?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Like there was it's like that video where the journalist finds that tribe out in the middle of the Amazon and shows them a mirror for the first time.
Oh, okay.
See that video?
No, I haven't.
It's fascinating because they're it's the first time they've ever seen a mirror. And so it's the first time they're seeing themselves. They don't know if they're looking at another dimension, if they're looking at another person. It's like,
now imagine you show them your iPhone and then you start modifying some AI stuff and showing them like, oh, look, now this is you driving a car. Now this is like,
Yeah. So, right. Imagine, the stuff they must have.
There was that island that they went to during World War II where the Americans basically just like showed up, made a base. There was locals that had never seen anybody off of the island before. And then, of course, this is massive technology, planes, jeeps, troops, guns, gifts, food, all kinds of wonderful things. The locals thought of them as gods.
Yeah.
And then when they departed the island and went back years later, they found them like having made like full-size bamboo replicas of airplanes and edifices and basically like praying for the gods to return bearing gifts again.
Wow.
It's like we know that this stuff has occurred in the past. And
Yes.
it's like,
Well, that's what has always drawn me into the Dan Burr story was like there's all these different theories about technology from the past. And his story always, maybe it's a movie theme, but it always just grabbed my attention, that humans were supposed to go back and fix things, but some humans did what humans do and went too far back and just lived their best life back then with the technology and looked like gods.
Imagine if we find out in the future that we actually went to the past and we wiped out the dinosaurs.
Oh God. How weird would that be?
Right?
Man. Yeah. And when I used to argue like, well, you can't do that because you can't alter the past. You get into these whole timeline debates. And then someone really smart told me one time, no, time is all happening at once, the future, the past, and now. And that really kind of blew my mind. So, all right, I'll hop back into this here.
America, once again, doing that to their own people, and that's what you sign up for, whether you know it or not. Dipshits. You probably got injured too, didn't you? And what you were around?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of the dipshits because it just is what it is.
You really are an asshole, dude.
There's plenty of times in my life where I've put myself in harm's way knowingly, and that's my choice. But it's different when people put you in harm's way without informing you. So I think
it's murderous. I think it's a murderous, evil thing that should be punished to the full extent of the law. I mean, I
agree.
I guess when it comes to national security, like a secret energy weapon platform, though, they could do whatever, as evidenced by like the soldiers they said to sit real close to the hey, go up to that nuclear test explosion, like real close, and you don't want sunglasses, it's real bright.
Yeah, we want you to be the photographers because you guys take great pictures.
There's just like a litany of like I don't know what it's going to take for people here in this special chosen country to understand that they are cannon fodder, and they are literally referred to as that several times throughout history. And fodder in particular, cannon fodder in particular. That's the one I forget with Rothschild at some Earth summit. So all that climate bullshit, which we don't even get into the science on it because. Right now, if you climate change, the computer models is all based on computer models, not anything else but computer models. Did you know that? I didn't. I used to be upset all the time hearing about it because they predicted the end of the world now probably 6 more times than Jehovah's Witnesses, the doomsday cult. So you've already outpaced Harold Camping, the crazy religious guy who predicted 2 ends of the worlds. You outdid my old doomsday cult. Science has. And hasn't been right one time. So by the 5th or 6th time that you feel all scared inside and it doesn't happen, it don't dawn on you that they're full of shit. Well, it dawned on me, not because I'm bright, but you can only get me. But the same goddamn trick like 5 or 6 times, not endlessly, And so now I always blather about this, like because it kind of ties into the other thing you were telling me about, which freaked me the fuck out, by the way. I was buying a car, remember? And the guy I bought it from was an ex-journalist with like international journalist credentials who told me so much wild shit. And meanwhile, I was texting with you. You start telling me about electrified cages and shit from MK Monarch. And I was like, And I thought I was being fucked with because I had just started really looking into this stuff a lot at that time.
Mhm.
So I'm like, what? And now, now at this point, the level that this shit all ties together is crazy. I don't even know how to start talking about it. But will you explain to me what you were talking about when you texted that to me? Because it's wild.
Oh, geez. Well, yeah. This gets us into the whole MK Ultra stuff and where we are contemporarily. Like you were saying with the end of the world, and like these are all trauma-inducing scenarios.
Yeah, so
and they exactly, so they can control you and they can manipulate your mentality and do things. But they're doing this now to the general public off of experiments that they were doing back in the day, unfortunately, to myself and other children, which included,
Was it GATE?
I was in the GATE program, TAG program, whatever you want to call it. There's synonymous terms that move around. People love getting.
Okay, you're the only other one beside myself to say TAG, talented and gifted.
I've heard a lot of other people say that as well, and there's a bunch of other names that I always forget. Those two just stick in my mind with great ease.
Yeah, see, that was the program at my school was TAG. I still remember it because I remember they tested everybody for it, right? But it was only like a few people went. So I remember failing that miserably because.
Well, you're very lucky.
But yes, I was gonna say, looking back, I'm not too upset that I failed that.
Right. That's the test you want to fail in school.
Oh, man. Yeah. Jesus. Okay.
Of getting into a battle semantics, but effectively they're experimenting on our children by many title programs.
Yeah. I was in GATE. I don't remember nothing about it, dude.
No one does. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Is everybody's like, yeah, I kind of barely remember being in.
I remember the pink drink. Okay.
Yep.
I remember the pink drink, and I did find out that is fluoride.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you were in one of the other, some of the
heard about the pink drink.
What do you call it? Private contractor kind of
SRI.
Yeah. So certain ones give you a little. You can just give fluoride. You got amphetamines because it helps your psychic.
They used to give me eye drops.
What did they give you?
Wow.
They gave me some sort of eye drops. So I discussed this with my father. He had no idea that this was going on. He's old school German Navy guy. So, he's bent that it happened on his watch. He doesn't like hearing about it because, technically it means he messed up as a dad. So it's not fun conversations, but I have engaged him on these topics and informed him what was going on. He's apologized that he didn't know this was going on. But, you can imagine an old school Catholic school, they bring me out of class, they bring me to the library. There's a cute girl at the table for every dude that's there, so it's like, it's a setup, it's disarming, right? Oh, hi, cute girl. And then they tell you
to. How old are you when you're doing this?
I was probably, I could have been 7 or 8 at the time. And these girls were probably in their early 20s. Some sort of,
that's a new one. I've heard dozens of wackadoo things with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I mean, those aren't such a crazy element. In a school.
No, it's just easy pieces to move on the chessboard to get the outcome that they were looking for.
Each boy was assigned a MILF.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's a great point because you are, as a young man, you could be so influenced by that,
Absolutely.
It completely take over any decision you're going to make. So yeah, why wouldn't they use that?
Right.
They don't have morals.
Super effective. And, I don't doubt, I'm not sitting here, I don't even think that the girls knew necessarily. Like they could have been college girls that were trying to be teachers. Yeah. They could have just been, aspiring teachers that got into a program that were like, oh, this will look great on your, your college resume. If we're doing this GATE program for exceptional children. And if you can come help us, as much as they convinced, I shouldn't say, as much as from my perspective, things appeared benign. I can see that from the perspective of the girls at the tables that they could have just been following directions also, that they thought they were helping me.
Yeah, maybe maybe there was nothing nefarious at all. Maybe they were drugged, brainwashed. We know CIA was doing this to women. Mm-hmm. Jesus, what was that, the 60s? So
Yeah, I was in this.
There's
I
witness
started in the
accounts.
early '80s, but these program activities were going on well before my participation.
Right. Which means probably more effective, more
Yeah.
controls, even better stuff, even better tools.
hmm
Yikes. Yeah. That's an interesting point. That's the first time I've heard that too, or even really thought about that. But it's a great point. Like, why wouldn't they do that? Young men can be influenced by
Yeah, dude.
women
I mean,
so easily.
they were really good-looking chicks. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, imagine if you got pulled out of class, and they're like, "Here, sit down with this beautiful woman, Gabe." You'd be like,
Oh no, I would hate that.
"Yeah,
I mean, when you're preteen teen, like you get what 192,000 hard-ons a day. So I don't think.
oh, you got to bump those numbers, bro. I was way over
Go
that."
up a bit. Oh
all
my
you had?
gosh, man! Yeah. Well, that's all I can count. As high as I can count. And then after that, it's too much blood loss to the brain. So. Oh man. Okay. All right. I'll get back to Kurt. Here we go. This is a great interview, by the way. This is great.
Oh, you love it. Dude, it worked. I mean, I was super interested in doing everything that she said. I ain't gonna lie, it worked. I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
And this is in New York.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, and then she would, tell you to lean back, and she would start applying the eye drop. She'd put a tissue by the corner of your eye to catch the excess. She would tell me to stay still because it'll stain my uniform, which I knew as a kid. Don't get a stain on your uniform, you'll get your ass beat. So
yeah,
I just did what I was told, and then in that process, they would utilize what I believe I learned to be called a tachistoscope, which is some sort of device that was like this big boxy thing on the table, and it had like a little spot, like a viewfinder thing, and you'd look into it, and there would be stuff playing on the screen. There's headphones, they put these big bulky headphones on us.
It's more familiar. Okay, Gabe.
And then we would watch the videos, and then there'd be like a break in the video stream, and then there'd be the video would go away, and then the screen would pop up, and there'd be 4 answers. There was like an X in the middle of the screen. It didn't go all the way out to make it into actually 4 separated rectangles. It was just distincting the 4 sections. And it would ask you a question, and you would look at one of the answers, and then it would register, and then the video would play again, and it keep doing this.
Yeah. Wait.
Weird, right?
Yo, I remember that. The thing of looking at the answer.
Mm-hmm. That always freaked me out, and I feel like you and I both agree, like there's a lot of things that you don't remember about this program, but I believe that the reason that I remember this part was because at the time I was so like blown away, because this is the early 80s, right? This technology didn't exist. It wasn't even imagined at the time in my brain. So I was cognizant of what was going on, and it blew my mind. I was just so focused on trying to figure out, how does this thing work? It's amazing. So I think that my own thought patterns being so strong at that moment were overpowering whatever it was that made most of the other memories fade.
Well, I didn't, dude, that thing of looking at the answer, I remember that, but I don't.
That's wild.
You brought it up.
It's annoying when you remember this stuff.
Well, because when you go to the eye doctor and you get that test with an X, and I remember something that's like that eye doctor test, except you look at an answer. Now, I don't remember thinking, but I don't remember it being so revolutionary to me, but it would. Whatever. I don't know what that's supposed to do, that test. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think that the tachistoscope was as much of a test as a programming tool. What my research has found is that it was one of these methods where if they were playing the video for you, it was where they were also like inserting like a slide into the video that you're not paying attention to with the forefront of your mind, but it's programming you subconsciously, that for every X amount of frames that passed in the video, there were also other frames inserted, that it was happening at a rate that your conscious mind wasn't observing, but your subconscious mind was.
Yeah.
Now this is, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been to deciphering.tv, this is Eric's site here. and it's pretty sweet. You've got, bio on him. You can catch up on all his recent posts. You see he's always keeping it current. We've got the interview here with Metzger. We got the interview a few days ago with Dark Journalists, which awesome stuff. One of my favorite researchers, Dark Journalists. He is just relentless with those FOIAs. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, bunch of interviews. He's got a forum in here. He's got archives. Even got a live section that I think the plan is send one day to have that puppy kind of cooking all the time, right?
It's cooking right now, technically.
Is it? Are we on?
No. I'm sorry. The live. I'm sorry. You showed the forum was what I was thinking in my brain.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
The forum can be engaged right now. People can absolutely jump in there. There's some questions in there already that people can jump on, and then people can pose their own questions. And yes, we are going to have the capacity to do live streaming from there for each of the channels now that is turning into a freaking network, which is going to be amazing. And then the forum can be utilized as a live chat space to go along with the live streaming. So it's going to be a powerful tool for disclosure, and I'm really stoked about it. I'm glad that you're jumping in, Gabe, and we got Nathaniel and Flack and James. So there's going to be a lot of things changing. Since disclosure's dead.
Because it's all dead now.
It's all dead now. Mission not accomplished. Please disperse. There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Go on home, folks.
So I love that this is coming to fruition. I've been trying to do this for a few years and find good folks. Yeah. So I'm very happy to have connected with you, because I really believe that we the people are the answer to the problem, and what we're witnessing with the powers that be, with the dead disclosure, wasn't an activity of disclosure. It was an activity of division.
Yeah.
It was meant to get everybody arguing.
And for some folks, a money grab.
Absolutely. Yes. And that was the bait for the people that were willing to wield the division. The more that you could help divide we the people, there was a payoff offered.
Yep. And folks, you can just rewind and play that in slow motion if you're still confused. Okay? Because this is what's happening. Okay? And what I love about this is, if, let's say, I make a video that's maybe a little teetering on, shocking content, or something that might be considered, over the top or something like that, I'm not going to get deplatformed for that. Right. Like that. And that's
you are obtuse to the algorithm, there are current social platforms that you're engaging that would be more than happy to, squish your numbers, throw you off, mess with the stream. Deciphering.tv is not that platform. Right.
So it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited.
We the people for the people.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, let's get back to this interview. I'm sorry. I am excited about that, so I wanted to share that.
Dude, I am so stoked about what's coming around the corner, and I think people are going to be really blown away about what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, let's get back to this interview, because Kurt is cracking me up, especially his facial expression when you almost blew his mind up with he literally looked like his hat was going to fly off for a second.
I'm remembering.
Here we go.
All I remember is I must stalk RFK and find him wherever he goes. What is the problem?
Your code name is Sirhan.
My code name is Kerpans.
There you go. Kerpans.
There's only two things I can remember, Eric. I remember answering the question, and there's someone I have to kill. It's just like always like little weird things. But I don't remember anything. People have all these stories of quite traumatic things, but maybe I didn't score too high on the whatever they're looking for. Apparently they're looking for like spooky psychic powers more than anything, from what I gather, or you're really good at math, which I'm not. They
were studying consciousness and just basically trying to ascertain what its what its value was, how they can work with it. It's my understanding from the testimony of David Morehouse, who was one of the people that was in the original remote viewing program with, I believe, the Army. He stated in the episode on Danny Jones that he was present when, I believe he said the director of DNI or DIA, I forget which one he said it was, but he was present when they found out that the Chinese were doing these remote viewing programs on the children, and his immediate response was, well, we got to invest in that too.
Yeah, right. So much like weapons of mass destruction, I'm sure the Chinese were absolutely doing that, but they know the Chinese are doing that. At a certain level, they're all on the same team at the highest level. It's only at the lower levels where China is your enemy, but if China's our enemy, why do they make all of our viruses and shoes and phones for us? I mean, I'm being a little silly because it turns out we made that virus in Raleigh, and we just conferred with them because they have their own population they have to get pared down. They got too many old people, they don't accept immigrants, Eric, to replace the workforce. Remember how they're going to have it? I'm going to be Peter Zeihan. I hate that motherfucker so much and his dumb fucking prediction. Hello from Colorado. China's about to collapse. And he's he's less correct than a climate scientist. This piece of shit. He's like a Stratfor motherfucker. He's like a soothsayer to power kind of, like, oh, what's your forecast for world events, Peter Zeihan? And he'll be like, well, Russia has a lot of potash. He'll just talk about like their resources. And he's talking about a thing where like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people will be killed. Doesn't even come up. Doesn't even figure in because that ain't what he's paid for. So this fuck was talking about how China has a population boom because they didn't make enough babies and bobbity bloop. And all this population shit, again, really shouldn't be a problem, but oligarchs see it as a problem.
Right.
He's always predicting of how is all my beautiful power and wealth going to be taken away from me by this rabble one day. Okay. And Occupy Wall Street scared the shit out of them. That's why we got wokeness. That's where that came from. It was a top-down thing. And there are all these little methods of control. And they've been trying to develop them like, I don't know, a long time, man. They've been really trying to get us all together on the same page. But meanwhile, China, that had too many people, they had their own reasons for wanting to have a COVID virus. It didn't come from their wet market. And the Wuhan one was used on Wuhan people. And the one that was used on us was Raleigh people. It was from Raleigh. And so
North Carolina.
Yeah, so that's why Dr. Fauci and all in NHI and Bill Gates and that Asian broad that gain of function with Fauci, who's friends with Bill Gates. That's why they all go there, because they're above your stupid leaders. And they're all like, we got to get our populations down, and China, you're in charge of yours. And I don't think people are putting this together, even people that I think. Now, when I found that out, Eric, this is very strange. And the guy, all his information was good. Every single thing he told me was good information. Besides that, that's the day you texted me that thing about German doctors in cages. The same day I'm hearing this from another guy who shows me a video of the Taliban. You know how we left our stuff there? Whoops-a-doodle.
Yeah. It's too expensive to bring it back, Kurt.
It's just better just give them all the expensive things.
I can't believe that people believe that for half a second. Like if our battle plan doesn't incorporate not leaving our weapons of war for our enemy, like that, someone's not budgeting correctly.
Well, funny you should say that, Eric. Funny you should bring that up, because as it so happens, and I'm not sophisticated enough to put this together until this guy told me. But before now, you'll hear about the new lithium. I mean, they don't call it the new lithium triangle, but they'll say it's in like America. I guess there's multiple lithium triangles, and originally it was Afghanistan's part of the lithium triangle, and we would like some. So not only did we give them a bunch of shit, that's why that's the deal of withdrawing from Afghanistan, is to leave them a bunch of shit as a bribe. You can't tell the public that out loud.
Right.
Oh, I thought we had seized their assets, the Afghan assets. No, we actually, the State Department whoops-a-doodled and paid them like hundreds of millions of dollars, plus all that valuable equipment. Whoops. And so he wouldn't send me the video. So then he shows me a video on his phone from his friend of stacks of cash, like a castle that the Taliban made out of American money. And they're like, ew. I'm like, holy shit. He wouldn't text it to me. Like and anyway, a month later, the news came out. The news is already out. So now it's not even the State Department said, "Whoops, we misplaced about 100 million. So go ahead and quadruple that. Go ahead and quadruple that. It's real easy math once you fit." Okay, so he told me that, and he told me about Daniel Pearl. Daniel Pearl, who I assume probably was the reporter guy said cut off by the Taliban. I was like, you know what? All these people are always like the Khashoggi thing that I'm supposed to give a fuck about, which I don't. He's a spy. That guy was a spy. He worked for Turkey. Okay? He was not a journalist. The Washington Post is not a newspaper. Bob Woodward is not a journalist. He's a Navy intel fuck. Okay? I'm sorry I got to catch everybody up on everything, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
But this guy, Daniel Pearl, was a journalist, and he had met with the FBI just before he went to go interview or whatever. He's going to interview Osama or something. I was told the CIA planted something on him. Now, the dude made like a shooty motion. I don't know if that meant they shot a thing onto him or he was just like doing that to like kind of illustrate it's this little thing they can put on you that you don't know is there. But the Taliban, or not Taliban, Al-Qaeda, because they had all this equipment, you know, that of course we gave them, like much like we gave to Pakistan, state-of-the-art equipment. They detected it, and then they cut his head off on a thing. And so he didn't even know why that was happening to him, because see, I just put a bug on him and used him and he became a valuable rallying tool about the barbarity. Remember how barbaric those Al-Qaedas were? Oh my goodness, what bad guys. And then ISIS was even worse. They're the worst, ISIS.
Yeah, they make all the propaganda films. They show people getting their heads chopped off, burned in cages, and then we leave them all of our weapons.
And we make them the president of Syria. And not only that, they're the president of Syria now. The guy standing behind Daniel Pearl in the video, one of them is the $10 million reward, wanted dead or alive guy. I don't remember his other name. He changed his name like Diddy, from Puffy to Diddy. He changed his name. And then I'm watching a video of him sitting down with General Petraeus, just talking like old chums, like, oh, it's all behind us now. And they're acknowledging, by the way, he was, they don't say Al-Qaeda and ISIS. He says that now we were on opposite sides during my time in Afghanistan. What? What did you say? Yeah. And, you know, credit. Now, let me give him some credit, this guy. Okay. ISIS and Al-Qaeda, I don't like their anti-Semitic rhetoric. And you know that, Eric. That's one thing
I
don't
understand, sir. You're
but
a son of Israel.
Well, I'm just anyone with any decency. And also as leader of, I also have a ska band called Israel Did Nothing Wrong. So yeah, maybe I'm a little bit jaded. But I did appreciate.
What do you think about this Muslim terrorist guy that's now backing the guy that's running to be the Muslim mayor of New York City?
I think just like what I was about to say with ISIS and Al-Qaeda, sure. Is their rhetoric anti-Semitic? Yes. And I don't like it. But you know what? Credit where credit's due. You'll notice they've never attacked Israel. ISIS or Al-Qaeda has never. Oh, I'm sorry. ISIS did once and then apologized to Israel. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, that's weird. They're so mean and Islamic and they hate the Jews, but they would never attack the country that's right there. That supposedly is why they're so mad. That's very strange. Well, now they want to attack because we're friends with them. So anybody out there that got your cock blown off in combat, General Petraeus is sitting down with the guy in charge of making the bombs that blew your dick off. Do you feel like a chump? Do you? I would. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get off on a.
It's all good. It's all good. I feel bad for our military nowadays because they're just.
I do all USO shows I can anytime I can. I'll do any. I don't like. I won't play whatever. And I play in Saudi Arabia too. Anytime, by the way. What is everybody talking? Everyone you vote for gives them money to buy weapons, but Bill Burr can't give them the gift of his comedy. Fuck you all. Dude, go look at the Holocaust that happened in broad daylight. Don't worry about AI. It's going to make it so you can't tell what's what. None of you know what's what anyway. Right. Don't worry about it, dipshits. You never knew what reality is without AI. You unbelievable cattle.
Yeah.
Who am I yelling at, by the way? Okay.
It's all right.
This is why I didn't go further.
I got volume control. It's all good. But Kurt, I love your passion on this stuff because you speak with candor, and this is what the world needs nowadays instead of all this whitewashed stuff. I think what you're touching on is very important with, like, these nation states they're scams. Behind the scenes, it's no different than Democrat and Republican. They act like they're fighting each other in public, but behind closed doors, they're high-fiving each other and working on their plans together. And that's where I see the nation states right now are just pawns to international corporations.
It's in what's that movie, Network, where the guy goes, "There is no nation state, just the international flow of capital."
I love that movie.
He goes, "You will atone," because he disrupted the flow of capital. But whatever. Everybody can buy it whatever they want. Nobody, look,
this is where we speak so much the same language. Because
have you seen that movie, The Network?
Oh yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Classic.
It's an amazing movie.
Classic. Yeah.
Talk about ahead of the curve. That came out in 1975.
Yes. And I mean, it sounds like Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. I mean, it's like there were a couple of folks that saw this coming, and they tried to warn us about it, including our own president about the military-industrial complex.
Absolutely. Yep, Eisenhower. Oh, was it Eisenhower?
Yeah, it's Eisenhower.
I'm bad with names.
Yeah, towards the end of his third term, right? Like he was leaving and World War II was over, and he's like, they have all the money and all the power, so you guys might want to ring that in a little bit. Nope, they just let him keep going.
Absolutely.
And now we're here. So, wow. And yeah, I think it's all political theater. That's all they're showing us.
Absolutely.
And you're 100% right. They get done with their little show. They go to the cocktail lounge or the, bar at the end of the day, and they're bullshitting with each other and they're laughing about this. And they're like, we're a joke to them.
You did a great job with your part of the script. I was a little nervous, when I had to hold up the crop circle video. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to go for that.
Man, I was so into that speech. I had to think of something really sad to make the tears come up, because
part of me wonders the way these things work. Like if we just consider that what they're involved with is tradecraft, stagecraft, synonymous for the activity, right? But yet again, this is these guys' work, right? This is what they're doing. Okay, so part of me, I believe Lou when he says that he didn't vet the photo. Right. Yeah. That it was just given to him. But I feel like when he pulled it out, he probably is like, these bastards. Look what they did to me. They gave me this stupid crop circle photo, and now I got to try to act like it's legit, right? So then he goes through his speech, and then I imagine then it's over. They go backstage, and he's like, "You sons of bitches! Oh, you couldn't have given me better something than a crop circle." And they're like, got you, Lou. That's all I imagine is going on. It's just regular job site shenanigans, people fucking with each other, but they got a job to do. And it's, we the people are suffering through the stagecraft and tradecraft of counterintelligence agents.
Yep. Red team, blue team, black team.
Yeah, it's all fun and games to them. Laughing all the way to the bank. Got a brand new book, got a brand new bar. I mean, I guess lying to the public is a lucrative opportunity.
Boy, I tell you what, it worked out for a few folks, And honestly, I feel like it could have been worse, that whole train, and maybe it still will be, but
it always could be worse. Is one of the, I look at it that way, and you just count your blessings that it wasn't.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, it could always be worse, or they're setting the stage for that now.
Yeah.
The conditioning, I mean, Gabe, look what we just, look what you and I just experienced in the social aspect of the community.
Yes.
I mean, what could be next that people wouldn't buy and bicker about again? I mean, they could roll out new actors. They can put them on a new stage. They can give them new crap content. And you and I both know that the only thing that's going to happen on social media platforms is everyone's going to engage it all over again.
Right. Yep. Fresh story, new video.
Yep.
New witness.
Let's clip it up and see, and we'll now make music videos out of the new characters. We'll give out new Crash Out awards. It'll be hilarious.
Right.
Because this is so much fun to argue about which shit sandwich tastes best.
Yes. Yes. Because I like relish, So.
I like my shit sandwiches with cheese, Gabe.
I mean,
everything's better with cheese. Throw some bacon on there. I mean, that's a quality shit sandwich at that point.
It is. I mean, I don't know. It's like it's an acquired taste when they've been feeding you the shit sandwiches your whole life. It's hard to, you just need a good shit sandwich once in a while, I guess.
Yum, yum. Give me some.
God bless it. Yeah, it's one thing we do know. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Fair enough.
Because, this didn't just happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
This is like generations of, So, just trying to look at it half full. At least we're still allowed to have the conversation, right?
Understood.
Shot in the head.
But yet again, as we mentioned before at the website, that we're having to deviate from the platforms that are provided to us.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's catch 22s with that. Right. Oh,
100%.
You can go on X, and for the low price of $7 a month, you can stream live and you can be in X spaces.
Right.
And suffer having your content throttled if it doesn't match the algorithm.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
One of the first things that I learned when I started getting into the disclosure community, freedom of speech is not free anymore.
Yeah.
You get nothing for nothing.
Yep. What does your speech matter if nobody hears it?
Correct. Exactly. And if they have a way to throttle you and push you over into the corner, and you can be yelling on your megaphone to the wall.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, there's good stuff because you got folks like yourself, folks like Kurt, Jimmy Dory out there, and they're saying, fuck it. We're just going to cover it how we want to cover it. And
I'm not a cynic. I'm not a defeatist. I do not lack hope. The reason I do what I do is because I absolutely believe that we can adapt and overcome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know that about you for sure. 100%. You're a survivor, man. I mean, that's what you are. So, all right, cool. Let's get back to this interview here. Cause this is fucking cracking me up.
You got it. I'm going to listen, but I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
All right. Sounds good, buddy.
Oh, mad as hell. I'm not going to take that anymore. People, we've been conditioned to not be angry as a society, right? If you're mad, you're the bad guy. And it's like, no, if you're not mad, then you're not paying attention. People ask me all the time, what should we do? I tell them, become unmanageable and get angry.
Stop consenting. You don't have to kill nobody. This is what's so amazing. You literally could do a bloodless coup by not consenting to all the horse shit that you consent to. So just remember, the next time it's time to put on your mask and take your booster. And dude, friends of mine to this day have not, when they said don't do your research, a bunch of my friends are fucking illiterate. So they were very happy to hear, of course, that's why they're in entertainment, because they can't fucking read. So they go, well, I wasn't going to read anyway. So I'm a good boy now. Anyway.
Did you hear the pots and pans movement when COVID first came out? I think it was in Sweden or Norway.
Oh yeah, and then they used those to beat up the hospital workers that wouldn't take the jab.
Well, they just basically when their politicians, tried to apply all the COVID protocols, they all just stayed home from work. They're like, yeah, guess what? We're just not going to do anything until you cut the shit.
That's the pots and pans.
The pots and pans movement was, I forget if it was Norway or Sweden, but when the COVID debacle first rolled out, that nation just literally laughed at their politicians, stayed home, and were like, listen, here's the deal. We're not doing anything until you shut the fuck up.
Yo, so
and
in
they say to the
America-
houses, they banged on their pots and pans, and the politicians had to yield because the people were just immediately empowered to be like,
That's
go
why
fuck
they
yourself.
had studies over there, and that's why because I was mystified as to why those NATO countries were fucking ahead on this. That's why. That you just explained to me why that was.
And then during the real time aspect of that, you were not going to see this in the American media. They weren't going to let us
Dude,
know.
you know what we saw?
All you have to do is just say no. Like it's one of the most powerful things that you can ever have come out of your mouth. It's just simply the word no.
Okay. Oh, how about no kings? Even more powerful. I'm just kidding. Wait. Dude, don't you remember the pots? When you said pots and pans, I thought you were referring to when the imbeciles in New York and LA went outside and clapped pots and pans together to praise the health workers who were hard at work giving the jet. So that means some jerk off here. So they're monitoring globally this thing, and that successful movement. I didn't know about that till you said it, dude. That's wild.
And it probably makes sense that it probably got repackaged to the variant that you
here
heard. Yeah.
At 7, we're gonna do this and say, "Good job, staff." And then when those same staff, when they wouldn't take the mandatory. So remember when Kathy Hochul of the governor of New York fired all the medical employees? It's like a lot too. I can't remember the number. And who didn't want the jab. Now, by the way, imagine, would you eat at a restaurant where the entire kitchen wouldn't eat the food at the restaurant? Oh, but all my moron friends in New York, hey, where did you get my flu shot? Anyway, they all got fired. Then this dizzy bucktooth bitch, you know what she did next? She got the National Guard to replace the qualified workers, and those motherfuckers don't have a mandatory. So she got unvaccinated, not qualified people to replace the people who said no.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, until you told me that thing just now, my mind is blown how on top of it these people are. And it's still failing for them. We're not moving fast enough to what they want at all.
Yeah, because we in a way, like, I think of like Walter Bosley and Joseph P. Farrell's work where they talk about, breakaway civilizations and how long this stuff has been going on. So, I mean, the rich families, the elites of the world that are trying to, run us all into the ground, they're not on the same timetable as you and I. We're in the average mortgage payer mode. People live in paycheck to paycheck. They're not making plans, 3 generations out in their family.
They're not. Who's not? They are.
We are not doing that.
That's why they like pyramids.
But the rich people, they're not worried about tomorrow. They're not worried about next month's mortgage payment. They know that they can afford to go on any vacation anywhere in the world, including Antarctica, because they're loaded. So
I don't worry about that, as you know, Eric. I don't have to worry about any of that. I'm a bonesman, as you know.
Oh, there you go.
I've been guaranteed financial security for the rest of my life, and that's why I'm trying to sell Hawk Tuah coin.
You're in the crypto club too,
Eric. You like crypto? Hawk Tuah as a?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wait, okay, hold on. So anyway, that stupid rant I went on was because that same day when I'm finding out all that crazy shit, you were texting me this So after the attractive women in the thing, what else do you know from that program?
Oh, well, there was a lot of stuff that happened in the library at my school that I would say was following the Monroe Institute remote viewing protocols. And that was where that stuff happened. There was, also times, where, again, it was a Catholic school. And,
that's not good.
Yeah, I know. I'm not arguing that. I did 13 years of Catholic school. It was not
That's
good.
Called hard time. That's called Oh, the hardest of times.
Oh, Father McFeely, leave me alone.
Yeah, but Jimmy Dore, I don't know if he told you so, but he tells on the show. It really makes me laugh because he talks about how it was when he was growing up in Chicago, and like they all knew the priest was a diddler, and like he would take the boys on like water skiing trips. But the thing was, you knew he was like handsy, so it was your responsibility.
You're gonna love this.
It was on you to keep Father handsy off of you. So, but then while he's teaching you to water ski, of course, that's an opportunity to get really handsy. If you didn't keep him off, all the other guys are,
Understood. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah. You're not going to believe. You're not going to believe.
America great again, Eric. Okay, guys.
So when I was a kid, it was a very German-Irish community that, we all went to this Catholic school, and I was on like the younger end, so that like most of the families were huge, and they had 7 or 8 older brothers and sisters that had already gone through the program, the school, so to say. So in my school, we had a layperson. You know what those are? Like a parishioner that's super holy and gets to do the readings at the mass.
The most suspicious person in the organization is how I look at it.
Absolutely. So you're gonna love
you're
this.
not even a priest, so it's like they're like a
you're
cutout.
Not gonna believe this. His name was Mr. Trap.
Wow.
Mr. Trap. And we were all warned by the other siblings and stuff to stay away from this guy, that he's a diddler. And he was in charge of the annual 8th grade altar boy ski trip.
Of course.
He would take all the altar boys skiing with him. And to this day, this is why I've never been skiing in my life, because it was like, hey, Eric, do you want to go skiing? Like, no. I
mean, look, it's not worth it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless you got killer health insurance, but I mean, people just die from skiing all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Snowboarding is even less worth it to me.
Yeah.
Not
So
that
I had an
old.
aversion to skiing at a young age.
Yeah, I could imagine. Well, I mean, what I imagine is maybe you would have loved the skiing, but not enjoyed the lodge as much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'll just stay out here in the cold. That's fine.
Eric, you look like you had a hard day skiing. Let me rub your back. No, I'm good, man. Mr. Trap.
No, I didn't have anything like that. We just pretty innocent. Took a lot of trips with Tim Waltz to China as a boy, and yes, I do wish my girlfriend was hot like him. All right, so so the Jesuit thing, because I always attribute that to the Jezzies. Because in Kathy O'Brien's book, she goes over it a lot about at the point. There's a point. So the WASP didn't used to like the Catholics and whatever, and at a certain point, it all merged together. And it, like, officially, New World Order kind of represents that. That represents how I look at that now. Is like kind of like the establishing the UN, but not the UN you get to know about. You know what I mean? So they're like, look, the UN's not making it. The UN that doesn't make it peaceful. It's a great way to traffic humans to each other and find great coke, but it's not really.
There's a peanut gallery at the UN headquarters in New York.
What's that
mean? So like the movie theaters back in the day had the upper mezzanine. They called the peanut gallery. It was the cheaper seats. Yeah. So when you see the UN, forum, and they pan out across the floor seating, there's a mezzanine above that. You know who gets to sit up there?
Who?
Knights of Malta.
Oh man, I love that knights are still a thing, and they're all, I don't know.
So is he? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he say Jezzies, like Jesuits?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, because I know that's something like Danny Sheehan holds pretty close to his heart, is that he's a Jesuit.
Danny Sheehan's a Jesuit?
Oh yes, a very proud Jesuit. Yeah.
That's the lawyer guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I'm glad that I never connected with him like so many people suggested that I should, because he's supposed to help whistleblowers. I was like, I don't know about that guy. Yeah, if he's a Jesuit, then yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't know enough about it.
I know a lot about. I have a lot of stones to throw at Jesuits.
Okay.
In my
I know, and I trust
my
you.
Research, and I. Yeah, that's my opinion of it. I'm not forcing it down your throat.
No, I get it.
Jesuits,
I know you.
Yeah, Jesuits
You guys
are bad news.
I get the same reaction when I'm like, I just don't understand what everybody hates about Freemasons. It's like, Gabe, shut the fuck up. Yeah. You're an idiot. And I haven't. I don't know. I haven't. So like, I see the connection between them and people make between them and, like, I don't know, I guess bad stuff, but maybe I just haven't been shown enough, or maybe I just haven't done enough research. I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, there's tons of it out there. One of the best books that I've ever read was by Jim Marrs, a book called Rule by Secrecy. And he pretty much explains the history of the shadow hand of the controlling force of humanity. And he starts back in Sumerian times.
Oh, wow.
and brings it all the way up to the modern world, and he crosses all the T's, he dots all the I's, and the Jesuits are very involved in a lot of nefarious activities.
And
I
the
couldn't recommend that book more. Well, the Freemasons, I feel like a lot of people make accusations.
Yeah, that's
it's
kind
an
of
organization that doesn't defend itself. They just kind of sit in silence. But then I look at, in my mind's eye, there's a lot of historical people that were associated to Freemasonry that are that have done good things. Like the founding fathers of our country.
Right. And going back further, they were called Freemasons because they were the folks that figured out how to build buildings for everyone, right? They were kind of the smarter folks that helped get things done in their communities. And I don't know. I've never been to a Mason lodge, but I had a friend of mine who was a big conspiracy theorist. Back in the day, he was a big time 9/11 conspiracy theorist.
Head of the curve.
Oh yeah, binders of offline stuff, just crazy. Was obsessed with it. But yeah, he believed that was going on. So
yeah, I think of the Freemasons more like police, right? Like ultimately, the organization is for the most part good, but it's not like there's not bad apples in the bunch. Not any one organization is perfect. And you can find folks to throw stones at, but I guess I mostly just look at the creation of this country, the United States, where, a bunch of men, quills of parchment, risking their lives to provide for the liberty and posterity. And they literally were signing their own death warrant on that Declaration of Independence.
Oh yeah.
And they were for as all the naysayers, you know how many people that signed the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons? And it's like, you're saying that like it's a bad thing. Like that sounds like an organization that was willing to risk life and limb for others.
Yep. And
that's
what it takes.
And then people will then make the leap and they'll go, oh, well, this country sucks. Well, this country is not following the design that they created.
Right.
We could literally rectify 99.9% of the problems in this country if we just simply got rid of all the bullshit laws that have been applied that the founding fathers never wrote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Retract them. Just simply retract them and watch what happens.
And the power is with the people as much as they've convinced us that it's not.
Right. We forget that we don't have leaders. We have public servants. The fact that our public servants now think that they're in charge is probably the biggest problem that we have.
It's ridiculous.
Right?
It's ridiculous.
When you watch Nancy Pelosi talk, did it seem like she was condescending and talking down to us, or felt like she was serving us?
Exactly. And someone that makes $193,000 a year to have billions of dollars, that's also just strange.
You're a sucker that can figure out how to work the market. Obviously, smart people can figure out how to, increase their monies 1,000-fold. What's your problem, guy?
I totally forgot. Her husband's just the financial genius. I should have hired him is what I should have done.
This is why she looks down her nose at people like you.
Yeah,
she can take $50 and turn it into 50 million, and you take $50 and turn it into a dinner from Domino's.
Right. I turn it into 50 cents by the end of the night is what happens. Oh, shit. All right. Okay. I'm going to cut back to this interview here.
Pelosi course on investing.
What's that?
You can take the Nancy Pelosi course on investing.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to go to hell when I die. So I have a conscience, and Anyway, let's get back to this interview.
You got it.
I don't know. They used to wear armor and shit, but now they're all pederasts and gay piano players.
Mm-hmm.
The Knights of Malta, that's not encouraging. That's who that guy who was threatening to kill that Rep Luna, the Congresswoman Luna from Florida, who's still going on about certain things, and I don't know to what degree it means anything, but I do know her opponent was trying to have the Knights of Malta kill her. He's on tape.
Oh my God.
I can't find anything about his background either. The guy she was running against who did this. I last time I was on Rogan, we played it. So I know it's on one of those, but can't, these people, you can't look up their background.
Right.
There's no Wikipedia. There's a Wikipedia on me. A lot of incorrect information on it. Thank God. My height is 5'9", and don't worry about when I was born. That's great.
It's one of the things from working on the North Shore of Long Island that I experienced, that I've been, professing to folks out there, is that if somebody's actually wealthy, you'll never hear their name.
That's right.
It's just
that was the thing we were talking about.
They can afford privacy, and they value it. As they're robbing it from us and getting us to give it away for free because we don't appreciate the value of privacy. Oh, they understand, and they invest heartily in making sure you're never going to hear their name.
Well, I looked up, what do you call it? All I could find, I remember when I looked this up with the Van Merkenstein. The kids are getting into real estate in New York, and it was like a fluff piece on these two kids. They bought their first $50 million. So that's the kids' fucking lemonade stand money that these Von Merkenstein kids had. And
you want to pause this for a second, Gabe? I'll give you a little backstory on why he's bringing this up.
Yeah.
So the Von Merkenstein family was clients of mine when I was a plumber on Long Island.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Kurt and I had discussed this at depth a while ago because we were talking about true wealth and privacy. So Center Island is a very affluent peninsula off of the Oyster Bay area on Long Island. I'm sure you've heard of Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks he's rich, right?
Right. He owns all the media, I would assume.
So everybody thinks that's wealth, right?
Right.
Because they've heard of Rupert Murdoch. Have you heard of the Von Merkenstein family?
No.
See how this works? So, the Van Merkensteins were my clients. I worked at their property on Center Island that was staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Right.
It probably cost around $50,000 a month to run this property when they weren't there.
Wow.
Okay. This was one of many summer homes that they would choose to, maybe we'll stay there this summer, or maybe we'll stay.
Oh boy!
Or this mansion was a piece of shit summer home option for them. Okay.
Wow.
While I was still maintaining that property for them, it made all the news in New York that Rupert Murdoch was moving to Center Island, and he's going to be having his permanent primary residence in Center Island. He was buying the Van Merkenstein's house.
Holy shit.
He was buying the mansion that I was servicing, and I was there as this transaction, like, it was making the news and all this stuff, and I was listening to the Van Merkensteins like laugh and joke, like, Rupert's gonna live here year round.
Oh wow. Like he's a bum because he's living in a multi-million-dollar summer home.
Right. He wants to live in our summer home all year round, Lovey. Isn't that funny?
He might as well live on the street. What a life, man. Like, it's just, I cannot even imagine living like that.
Dude, I totally
just in
get
excess, like.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I've witnessed things. Like, I feel like that scene from Blade Runner. Like, I've seen things.
Yeah, well, it's like the other side almost.
Yeah.
Like
I try to tell folks there's a level of opulence you can't comprehend. There's a level of wealth you'll never understand. And if you think the people that are being paraded in front of you as being the wealthy elite, you have no idea that people are placed in front of you as a barrier to prevent you from knowing who the real targets are.
I completely agree.
Targets, I would simply say that if, history repeats itself, and if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. Like, we've all heard these things, right? And I will say that there is a cycle that we can reduce history down to that is observable. The wealthy elites will step on the throats of the poor until the poor rise up and kill them.
Yeah,
we've seen it. The rich know this. So their first thing that they try to do is make sure that the poor don't know who they are.
Yeah, you don't know how poor you are.
Right, and you don't know who the rich people are. If you don't know who owns the boot that's on your throat.
Right.
So they're just tactics. They're age-old tactics. And we're currently suffering under the boot contemporarily of a nameless face. Yeah.
And we're in this information age like never before.
Right.
Kicking and screaming and trying to grasp at the leg on that boot, and figure out who the fuck it is. Interesting.
Well, they get us to blame each other. Like, it's instead of being concerned about the boot on the throat, instead we're swinging at the guy next to us because the guy with the boot is like, did you know that guy on the ground next to you is trying to get your crumbs?
Did you know that he wants to charge a tariff?
Yeah.
The fuck's a tariff? We're going to war over a tariff?
Yeah, but actually, it's funny that you bring that up. I mean, because technically back in the day, when everything from every other country was hardly tariffed, was when we were financially awesome.
Yeah.
Removing those tariffs got us to where we are. So this cracks me up when you see people criticizing this. It's like, just how do you say I know nothing about history while saying I know nothing about history, and it's bitching about tariffs?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I leave that stuff up to the economists because that is
if we
not
tariffed everything from every other country, then everything would have to be produced here for it to be affordable. And then everyone would be working?
Right.
Everybody would have a job. All those other foreign nation economies would collapse because they have no market to sell their wares in.
Right. I just remember, if you're old enough, and if you're not old enough, research it. NAFTA.
Yes.
The promise of NAFTA and what actually happened with
Bingo.
NAFTA, right? And they just let it happen. They were like, well, there's just nothing we can do. You're just going to have to learn better in school and get better jobs. That was the answer that the Clintons provided us. So,
and soon we're going to have, of course you have to have digital ID to make a transaction because no one accepts cash anymore. And then how long before people have no idea that that's just like a noose around your neck, a cinder block chained to your foot. It's like everything evil all wrapped up in one. Oh, by the way, which comes with no privacy of transactions.
I don't know if we had that anymore anyway. Unless you're using cash.
Well, that's my whole point. Is that everybody, oftentimes people ask me, Eric, what can we do to fight back? Start paying cash for everything.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't use the big banks.
Yeah, and don't inform them on everything that you purchase so they can start gathering metadata and using it against you. If everyone started paying in cash, they would lose the ability to metadata so much activity.
Yeah, it reminds me of the this last Friday, Bill Maher just came out and was telling people to fuck with their algorithm on their phones. Start looking up shit you would never look up and click on shit you would never click on, and just fuck with it. We're not gonna get rid of the phones, so we can at least balance.
And
it
now
out
imagine being disconnected from the algorithm by paying for cash for everything. And then the scary thing is that most people will be like, well, I have to, I don't have cash.
Right.
Well, it's like therein lies your first obstacle. If everything you're purchasing is through debt, you're a wage slave now.
Yeah. Well, that's what
if you can't pay with cash, if you need to go get a slice of pizza and you got to charge it, you need to reassess your life.
Yeah, you shouldn't be paying credit on a slice of pizza. That's for sure.
But look how many people live this way.
Or interest, yeah.
Yeah, they just everything now comes with interest. It's
or a
bonkers.
Subscription.
Yeah.
Or a subscription. That's
what
how
the
it
hell
goes.
is what the hell was that movie where the person was trying to travel and it was like in the future, and it was like if you didn't have money for stuff, there was like real people walking around that would just feed you with ads.
What?
Yeah, it was like,
oh my gosh, I think I know what you're talking about.
This one. It was a popular movie, and it was like this, like the girl needed to travel, so she was like, well, what I need to get from here to here to here.
If you watch so many ads, you could like,
yeah. And he was like, all right, well, I'll jump on the train with you, and we'll do. And she just, just kept feeding ads.
Yeah. Yep.
Talk about like really nailing it,
Well, yeah, that's what was crazy is you could totally see that happening. Like if somehow we're able to capitalize on our data, are we gonna have a future like that?
I imagine we're gonna have like LED jackets and stuff, like with like the ability to have like signage on your back. And like if you can't afford something, like you're just gonna go to some app, and now you're gonna be a walking billboard to like pay for the services that you need.
I just really wanted that 7-Up.
Yeah. Yeah, people be making fun of each other. Be like, dude, how many 7-Ups do you drink? Your jacket hasn't said anything but 7-Up for 6 months, bro.
Oh, what a world. What a world.
It's coming, dude.
I remember I used to tell my wife when I was younger, like, this is the only country maybe there's a couple now, but this is the only country where our bums are overweight, like where our bums are obese. This is the only place where that's a thing.
And you don't mean bums like Aussies, right?
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah, we have a really overweight population on welfare.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
But I think with AI, I think those numbers are just going to climb, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell we're going to do.
People are getting more and more lethargic.
Yeah. Well, what are they going to do when they actually start letting people go and replacing them with, I mean, it's already happening. So it's like, if you don't have anybody making money, you're not going to have anybody to buy your stuff.
I would say we've already reached that point. Like what percentage of our population is engaged in jobs that produce something?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, yeah,
we already have a population of what I would say are leeching systems. Like, there's a percentage of the population that actually produces goods and services, and we need them. We learned about them during COVID. They're called essential workers.
Yeah, right.
What part of the population was determined to be essential, and the rest is just fucking dead weight? That's leeching off of those that actually produce. Those people need to get their heads out of their asses and start being a productive aspect to society.
Yeah.
We'd all be better off.
It's going to be interesting to see how things shake out over the next 10, 20 years. That's for sure. Because if anything, AI, like as far as just making things easier, it's amazing, for just day-to-day tasks. Like,
certain stuff, like it's great for inquiry and things like that. Like when I have questions about my studio, it's great to ask questions.
Yes.
To get answers to stuff. I'll draw the line at like research when it comes to like information education. It's one thing to say like, hey, what button do I hit on this to make this happen? Right. That's one level of research. But if I'm like, read this book, AI, and tell me what I need to ascertain from the text. Fuck that. But that's what people are using this shit for.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've done exhaustive research, and you're like, motherfucker, you hit a button. Right? You've done exhaustive research. You hit some buttons. You prompted something that you can't test its work on. Like, I'm from the trades. Like, you do a job, you test your work, you've proven your proficiency. Everybody's now using this digital tradesman that can't prove the proficiency of its work, but they believe it regardless.
Right.
I asked AI. AI said that that's the truth.
Yeah. It's a good tool.
Why not just go ask a stranger on the street?
Exactly.
Right? Go ask a stranger on the street and say, have you read these books? And it'll go, yeah, sure. What do you want to know? Oh, well, I was wondering about blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, this means that. Oh, thank you so much. Let me go run.
And we know
it
can do that. Like it will sometimes just provide nonsense answers that
it'll follow with that
completely inaccurate.
That was a brilliant question. I'm so glad you asked. I will look into that for you right now.
Right.
I'm so happy to have prompts from such a handsome man.
Right. Pumping people up, gassing them up. Yep. Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's a good tool. But yes, do not try to befriend your AI. Do not take it over reading the book, right? Like read the book. And then if you want AI to generate some, I don't know, interesting topics or something, that's great. But you should at least know what you're speaking about.
Absolutely.
You should at least know the foundational stuff of what you're speaking about.
And I'm totally cool with it being a tool, right? But again, as a
it's a great tool.
Right, I have a lot of tools in my toolkit, okay?
Right.
But you also have to learn when to use the right tool for the right job.
Exactly.
If I'm going to try to, if I want to chisel some wood, I grab my hammer and a chisel, not a hammer and a flathead screwdriver. Like it matters using the right tool for the right job. And people seem to be utilizing AI as this all-purpose answer to everything and not understanding when it is the inappropriate tool.
Right. And
they just see it as a cure-all.
It being your girlfriend or boyfriend, not the appropriate.
How did you know? I'm just saying. I didn't think you were going to bring that up, Gabe.
I'm just trying to help any viewers or listeners that may potentially be wrestling with this. Just don't do it. Just go get
She said she loves me and that I can date any other AIs that I want. So I'm in an open AI relationship, and your envy is just written all over your face.
That just made me think AI menage a trois. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, all right, we're gonna get through this thing. I'm
you got
it again. Here we go.
Willow and Jaden Smith type kids, except they're gonna take a dip and buy some real estate. They got a $50 million, and they're gonna just isn't that sweet?
They're gonna play with it and see if they can make a return on their investment of $50 million.
I can't even find the article now. I was trying to find it.
Somehow somebody was able to make the article.
You know what I did find though that I wanted to share?
What's that?
The recording he was referencing.
Oh,
so
really?
this was in secret recording. Here, in fact, here we go. Florida Republican threatens to send Russian-Ukrainian hit squad after arrival. So, a little-known GOP candidate in one of Florida's most competitive congressional seats was secretly recorded threatening to send a Russian-Ukrainian hit squad to a fellow Republican opponent to make her disappear. During a 30-minute call with a conservative activist that was recorded before he became a candidate, William Braddock repeatedly warned the activist to not support GOP candidate Anna Paulina Luna in the Republican primary for Tampa Bay area congressional seat because he had access to assassins. The seat is being vacated by Representative Charlie Crist. So this was June 21.
So apparently the Russians and Ukrainians can still work together if they're assassinating American political aspirants.
Right. 21. So this is what, less than a year before the war or whatever. Or wait, when did didn't the war start? 2020? Or no, it was 2022, right? Because we just hit 3 years. I think it was 2022. Let me make sure.
That's a good question. It was under the Biden regime, right?
Yes. 2022. Yep. 2022 to present. So this is 2021. So just less than a year before that. Okay, let's hear it. This is only 5 minutes. Let's hear how damning this is.
Do it up.
Graphic content.
Oh,
we were
boy.
at dinner at Hawkers in front of everyone. One of my Freemason brothers, the billionaire,
Freemason.
we're bringing in over $500 million from offshore, from Malta and Gibraltar, to fund my campaign. Even though my campaign only needs $1 million to win the primary and another 5 or 6 for the midterm, we're bringing in $500 million because they understand how fucking serious it is to keep our country intact.
Wow.
And with that kind of money, I'm going to have 24/7 2 former Secret Service officers up my ass unless I'm taking a shit in the morning. And I don't want to hear this. I don't want to know about this, but I only have access to a hit squad too, Ukrainians and Russians.
Damn.
You did not fucking hear that from me.
I didn't hear what?
But this shit is getting deep. And I don't want you to be on the wrong side of it.
I don't want to be on the wrong side of it either. So why would we need, I guess, like, I mean, that's...
Oh, no, you're not going to be, you're not going to be a part of it regardless. But I'm just saying, don't get caught in public like supporting Luna, because Luna supporters are Luna's going to go down. And I hope it's by yourself.
Is that why, like, I mean, I don't, is that what, like, the Russians are for? That's like...
If we do so my polling people are going to charge me $20,000 to go poll right before the primary. And if the poll says Luna's going to win, she's going to be gone. She's going to disappear.
Dang.
And you cannot tell anybody that.
I would never tell anybody.
For the good of our country, we have to sacrifice the few.
Sacrifice the what?
The few. For the better of the good of the majority of the people, we've got to sacrifice the few.
So...
She's a crazy bitch. She's a Democrat with a gun. She supported Obama immigration policies. She's flip-flopping on abortion. She's a
wow.
Take her out, Gabe. Take her out.
Social media influencer.
This is fucking
There's no reason
crazy.
she should be in office. And I'd be terrified if she was controlling my quality of life.
I have no doubt in your capabilities. That's why I'm so interested in what you're doing. The only problem is, like, okay, so let's just say that, like, Luna's going to win. Like,
she won't. And if we have polling that proves she won't, she's going to be gone, period. That's the end of discussion. Luna's not an issue.
So how do we make her go, though? I just don't understand that.
How do you make her what?
How do we make her go?
I call up my Russian and Ukrainian hit squad, and within 24 hours, they're sending me pictures of her disappearing.
Oh!
No, I'm not joking. Like,
wow.
This is beyond my control at this point.
So it's really bad. Like, she's really bad.
So, Gabe, for every one of these phone calls that they do capture, how many do you think have never been heard publicly?
At least 10. Right? Isn't that the rule? So it's out of his control. He makes the call to them, but it's out of his control. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Not bad for us.
She looks like such a good person. That's what she's a
piece of shit. I'm telling you, money ain't no problem for me. I'm self-funded. I got access to billions. I'm talking with a B, not millions, billions of dollars. Now, can I funnel that in my campaign and look legitimate? Of course not.
Right.
So I'm still trying to get donations and other people support me and all that. But I'm self-funded. I got cryptocurrency out the ass. I don't need anybody's help. I've got Freemason brothers offering me.
I got so much Hawk to a coin.
Part of me just thinks that this guy's just a nerd that's just talking smack, trying to like impress a chick. Maybe nothing he's saying is true, but he's just trying to be all baller.
That you're talking about, are they?
Do you know it's funny, Eric? I was like just kind of thinking the same thing. Like, I don't think guys that would really do this would talk like that.
It seems a little bit ridiculous, this phone call, to be that on forward. Like, this just sounds like a dude that's like, hey, baby, I got millions with a B. I got Ukrainian, Russian assets within 24 hours.
Right.
You can make her go away.
Yes, this is like it gives that vibe, creepy vibe, like he's trying to
Totally.
impress the girl he's on the phone
Totally.
with.
Yeah, like I guarantee the dude got in trouble for the phone call, but what probably was the long and short of it, they probably found out this guy's so full of crap.
Oh yeah. His cousin knew a Russian one time in high school or something.
He had Russian dressing in his fridge.
Right next to the vinaigrette, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, let's keep watching this. This is here we go. We're gonna keep going to this. This is again, if y'all just joining us, Eric and Kurt Metzger did this interview earlier today, and we are just replaying it, having some fun.
Cool. Didn't get the note that you're not allowed to write about the Van Markenstein family, so then it got retracted, and you'll probably never find the author of the article either.
That's a fact. And I'm gonna have Ashton Forbes back on my. I haven't had him on yet, but I was going to because he had that orb thing, and I think his orb research is phenomenal. His Israel research is bad to the point that I am starting to think maybe he's getting some of that $7,000 a month Hasbara money from old Bilbo, not a Jew.
I think.
Have you heard this story? Do you know what these people are talking about? The 7,000. Okay, could you inform me? Because I've seen people joking about. I'm like, the joke's going over my head. So what did I miss?
My understanding is that they're now busting out, putting podcasters on blast. That apparently, I guess the state of Israel is paying podcasters like $7,000 a podcast that paints Israel in a positive light.
Oh, wow.
So this goes right back to like what I've been saying to you, like with disclosure and stuff, like the amount of monies that are available to subsidize podcasts. Like, lest we forget, under the Obama administration, it became legal to subsidize the news.
Wow.
Is podcasting on the internet news?
Well, I can tell you.
Could it be justified as news? Could it be that, 95% of the podcasters are on the take under this type of financial subsidy?
Would not be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either. And it just seems to me that there's too much conformity across the board. Like we were saying earlier with the margins, so even if it's the left side versus the right side, theoretically, if the government's paying both margins to maintain the conversation in the middle, it could be going on. Oh, and by the way, precedent has been set because historically this operation was referred to as COINTELPRO.
Right. Yeah.
That they would literally take agents from the FBI, like back during the Vietnam War. If I was pro-war and you were anti-war, we simply both get our organizations infiltrated.
Yep. And they've done it ever since.
And they've never stopped. The Senate subcommittee hearings in the 1970s that the Church Committee started, if I remember correctly, the end result of the court case regarding COINTELPRO was you're no longer allowed to operate under the name of COINTELPRO.
Ah, shucks.
Right? But we've seen that time and time again when it comes to government programs where they just it's part of the program to change the name of the program every so often to make it harder to trace and harder for foreign espionage aspects to track it down. We'll call it this to such and such day, boom, and then across the board, all the names change so that now they have to start digging down different rabbit holes.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, COINTELPRO from top to bottom owns ufology.
And I honestly, Eric, I think in any intelligence group that is a actual strategy, like from Portland. And I remember when they busted that kid, the FBI busted that kid for trying to set a bomb off at Pioneer Square. But then you read the details and you find out there was like 7 to 9 FBI agents and this one kid. And they're coaxing this kid. They set everything up. The van, the fake bomb, the fake remote, everything. All this kid had to do was push the button. And once he pushed the button, they arrested him. And they said
then they go to the news and they go, don't worry, because it was a fake bomb. There was nothing really to worry about.
But we got a terrorist off the streets.
Yeah, no, you made a terrorist so that you can fake an arrest, so you can like look at our numbers. We caught another terrorist. Well, if you make them first,
and it takes 7 of y'all to do that.
Right. Yeah. What if you guys just never made contact with him and didn't fill his head with all of the information that you did, put him in a van with a fake bomb in it?
What if an army recruiter reached out to him?
Yeah. What if he just left this kid alone?
That even better. Better. What if we just let him live his life?
Right.
You know? Anyway, I bring up this picture here.
These are when they manufacture cells. So that they have and again, like we said before, like for everyone that we know about, how many are that we don't know about? So in reality, what we find out is that these alphabet agencies are just manufacturing these cells to have at the ready for them to activate when they want.
Right.
And if they have the ability to do what we know occurs when they arrest the dude with a sham bomb, what that also teaches us is that they actually have the ability to choose whether the bomb is fake or not.
Right.
So they're teaching us that they can absolutely manufacture a terrorist that will push the button, and it's up to them whether or not there's a legitimate bomb or not. So now, even when we look at instances where things do blow up, who is that dude that had the Tesla thing that was on
Matthew Levelsberger?
Right?
Yeah.
Could that have been manufactured? Is it possible that he just simply got in a Tesla vehicle that locked him in, drove him somewhere, had a bomb in it, and he didn't even know?
It's possible. Some folks believe that he was dead when the Tesla self-drove itself in.
So welcome to modern AI technology, folks. You can be set up as a patsy for a government terrorist operation just by fucking calling an Uber.
Just by driving your car. Joe Rogan talks all the time about that general that I think he went against some contracting purchase or something. I'd have to look it up, but essentially you see a video of this guy. It's like nighttime, and his car flies by this road going like 100 miles an hour or something, flies right into a tree.
Yep.
And the speculation is they hacked the computer on the car and just floored it, and he didn't have a chance.
Absolutely. Totally doable.
Insane. I bring this picture up just because I want y'all to know I brought this picture up several times. And this is Gaza before and after Israel. So no $7,000 check here. I probably am on the opposite of I'm probably on the other list where they're trying to bury my algorithm. More likely than the other one. But I'm not going to bullshit here. If you look
your
at
Uber
that
rides
before,
out front, if you can just get in the vehicle, please.
If you look at that before and after, I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words. You know, there's just not much else you can say.
I sent you an Uber. There's a gift certificate to that really cool restaurant that you like in your neighborhood. So it's, just get in the car.
Just hop in, buddy. Just hop in. Say goodbye to the family.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What a
So that wasn't just an advertisement for a cheap place to travel this summer? Like rates are down in Gaza?
Probably. I would imagine.
I think
Ashton gets engaged in fights, and he doubles down a little bit faster than he should sometimes.
Well, I think that too.
I actually just had some issues just yesterday with a post that Ashton had put up where he, I guess he was going at Nick Fuentes and saying something to the effect of,
I hate Nick Fuentes for being a little shit fed. And also, if you even have any Nazi-esque ideology, go suck a dick, you look. Anyway.
Yeah, so long story short, Ashton just made this post basically saying like, oh, so apparently the hatred goes back to some friendly fire incident in 1967. And I'm like, Ashton, I know a crew member from the former crew member of the USS Liberty. I said, I assure you, this was not a friendly fire incident.
Hey,
so then
that's disingenuous.
He made some comment about, I guess, we'll never know what the motives are, and he gave me like a backhand. I was like, Ashton, don't pretend that I'm somebody, I'm not the average person that's not armed with the truth. So I followed up with I shared a video to him that my friend had made, like legit pictures from the ship, from the assault. And I put it in his direction, and just I'll leave it with that. I can appreciate that he doesn't know everything about everything, but sometimes he fires off a little prematurely and half cocked. So
he fires off nonstop as if he's being paid at this point. Also, he has no Wikipedia. That's very strange for a guy who talks about orbs. I would think there'd be a wiki, even a negative, slanderous one like I have about me. But I can't find any background or bio of him anywhere, like a lot of these influencers you see now. But I want him on to explain it. He texted me, so I will have him on, and I'll hear him out 100%.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come on.
All his arguments, we did that thing with him. All his arguments, I gotta say, Ashton, you don't seem like you're using your orbs to come up with the answers to this shit. I awarded him a Jeffy. That's an AI prize I award to going above and beyond on the service of Israel. And it's an AI of Jeffrey Epstein dancing to congratulate you for the great service you did to Israel. From the greatest hero of Israel, Jeffrey Epstein. Don't ever forget, their James Bond was James Bond. Who's James Bond? A guy that fucks everything and tells everybody his real name, right? he loves a little young pussy. That's what James Bond is, and that's the hero of Israel. So once we know that Israel had a human trafficking network set up, okay, with with kids from here. Oh, also they have protests to be allowed to rape their prisoners who are boys. Did you see that juicy gem? The fucking
I did
IDF,
not.
yeah, they rape they'll grab kids off the street, because they're Arab kids, and they were already doing this before October 7th, but after October 7th, they were really stepping up the rape of boys by adult IDF. So, the females.
No way. That is so awful. Ugh.
We're doing weird shit too there. And they, believe it or not, go look it up if you don't believe me. Because
I believe you. You're a good researcher. You don't speak out of turn.
You know what? I'm not a good researcher. I literally just have a memory.
That's true.
And when I hear a thing, I don't immediately forget it for patriotic reasons, like a fucking liar. Okay? So anyway, they did get some credit to Israel. Their politicians go to jail. You know that? Bibi's done, dude. If Bibi don't keep killing, he's gone. He's done. And my prediction is they're going to have to stop killing at some point, because it's like it's becoming a little difficult to hide, even with the fine work of Ashton and Laura Loomer. It's still getting difficult to hide. Again, I want to point out I'm prejudiced against Arabs and Muslims like a good person, obviously. I would never listen to them or any of their complaints. Do you think I'm a bad person who listens to Muslims? I'm not. Jews told me what's up. The ones who are honest, who I really identify with, because that's a tough spot to be in. And then the scumbag Israelis who brag about what they're doing. So these fucking prison guards that were raping children in a prison, 12 into whatever, there was mass protests, okay, by a bunch of Israelis because this is acceptable. You understand? They were protesting.
Yeah.
Don't punish them for that. They didn't even do anything to anybody. That's how you know the Holocaust definitely happened, because you don't get that insane unless you have the control trauma mechanism of a real Holocaust. Like that. Israel's a golem. It's like the golem of Prague, and some psycho, and it's fueled by anti-Semitism. So that's why they're going to do worse and worse crimes, and you're going to see Laura Loomer get more obnoxious, and others like her. And as you start to realize the truth about it, like I did, 20 years they had Gaza as a concentration camp. I never looked into it. Norman Finkelstein. It's not complicated. Oh, it's so complicated. Religion. No, it's not. It's the most simple thing in the world. And Norman Finkelstein told me it. Finally, a guy just explained it to me in a that's a concentration camp. They're going to keep doing this because Netanyahu's owned by terrorists. Okay. Ben Gvir and his group are who killed Yitzhak Rabin. And they're classified both Israel and America as terrorists, and yet they're the power behind. Netanyahu answers to that fat fuck. Okay. So what's going to happen is it'll either go to the World War III red heifer bullshit they want, the psychopaths, or the whole world, we're not doing this, and then they will pin it all on Bibi and his pig wife and his dumb shit kid. I predict it's going to get pinned on Bibi because they already hate it. Israelis hate him. Okay, only dumb Americans say he's good. Americans being paid Hasbara money say he's a strong leader, but actual Israelis really do not like him. They were about to overthrow him before he caused October 7th himself. Spoiler alert to all the people wondering how it happened.
Wasn't there just a big protest in Manhattan from the Hasidic or the Orthodox Jews?
Well, they're anti-Zionists. That's the ultra-Orthodox, which I thought was Dragon Ball Z talk. Like their final form was. It's not that. They're just Orthodox. What happened was the rabid Zionists of the time wanted to marginalize them because they weren't Zionist. If you believe in that religion of Judaism, and again, believe whatever religion you want. I'm not telling you who's right. But in the lore of that religion, it's a repulsive blasphemy of the state of Israel, okay? As is Reform Judaism. You don't get to reform your religion to say you don't have to follow it. In any religion, they're going to consider that blasphemy, okay? Now, maybe
unless you're a king of England.
Hey, well, were you at the No Kings protest too this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God.
Boy, I wonder what they were protesting. Something with lesbians, probably? I don't know.
It's a great place to meet dopey chicks.
Yo, I want so bad.
Come on, Gabe. You can't hold that against me.
It is.
Got him.
You gotta do an unboxing to see if they have a wiener or not.
That's true too.
In my day, back in our day, it would have been. But nowadays, kids, you're gonna have to do a full unboxing and see what you brought home. You know, I'll say one thing about Alaska: the goods are odd, but you know what? I didn't have no surprise dicks.
Pardon me, ma'am. Why do you have a 6-inch clit?
Yeah, well, she was just an Inuit woman. There was no. When I played Kill Coots last time, or maybe it was like the first time. I think the first time I played there, I didn't understand what I was doing. So the audience.
How many times have you been up here?
Twice.
Okay.
For I think I was there for like a week though, both times. First time I was in a condo, which is a lot nicer. Then I was in a band house, which sucked ass. But just do Greg Shaley, I ran into in an airport down here. He used to be the booker. I don't think he works there no more. But there was a cool guy, Mike. There was a bunch of people who are cool as shit that worked at that bar that I really was like, I would come hang out with them.
Yeah, Coots is cool.
Yeah, and so anyway, that crowd though is such drunks. And I was there, I think I was there like oil check weekend, both times. Okay. So I have no idea what I'm getting into, dude. And I get people are handing, they give you. Greg goes, "Oh, if you want like Coca-Cola instead of drinks, because he always keeps sending you fucking shots." And me being a young idiot was like, "What? I drink. I don't know. Good." No, that was not good. You're not supposed to just have Jaeger shots handed to you every few seconds.
Right. Yeah.
And I wasn't doing no blow then too either. So there's no evening that. So anyway, I did great up there in those shows. And then they recorded. I remember the second time I was there, I was like, I could probably use this recording because it was like a fun show. And I played it back, and it is gibberish. I'm drunk out of my mind, saying nonsense and just yelling at people, and the crowd loves it, and they're saying gibberish at me. Yeah. It was insane. It was like I was on the fuck.
You guys were all on the same wavelength.
Yeah, it was like a Cthulhu thing, like where I was like, and then but I do remember I hung out with this lady who was a madam for girls in the oil rigs. She's like 70. She had a fedora. Fuck was her name? I probably should say her name. I don't remember. But she goes, and she heckled me. I made fun of her, but she was cool. I hung out with her, and she had like this really pure. I don't know how she was getting that in Anchorage, but and I was hanging out with it. So she goes, "Wait till my girls get here. You'll see how hot." She kept going about how hot her girls are. Dude, it looked like a fucking David Lynch movie. It looked like either Blue Velvet, those whores, or the ones from in Wild at Heart when they're making pornography, Texas style. They were just one girl looked like she would be technically be a dwarf, but she was a human height. I mean, a normal human height.
She's a pygmy.
Dude, it was so David Lynch, her girls. I'm like, I'm drunk. I mean, I didn't do anything with any of them, Okay, I know the Lord's against. Anyway, I go to some mansion with her in Anchorage because like coke is the worst, dude. It's just like it'll take you on some real weird places. And I swear to God, there's a guy.
Hell of a drug.
It's the home of some Indian guy that looks like at the end of Boogie Nights when Dr. Octopus is in a bathrobe and there's a Chinese guy setting off fireworks. Imagine him, but it's an Indian guy. Exactly that. There's no fireworks. And then I'm just doing this yak with this old lady. She goes, "Listen, I get FedEx you some black tar heroin Could you FedEx me black tar heroin from New York? I'm like, what? Oh, it's easy. You just FedEx it. You just did no problem. You go get black tar. I'm like, I don't really want to. I'm a comedian. I probably don't want to get in the drug running business. I mean, this is really cool, this whole experience, but yeah, that's Alaska time. How? By the way, have you had any retribution? I meant to ask this before I start telling stupid stories. How do you get away with what you told? Because I think your thing's so believable that I would expect you to face a Gary Webb ending.
No, mostly it's just. I mean, I get threatened all the time, but I mean, it just is what it is. It's mostly it's keyboard cowboys. I did get assaulted in D.C. when I went to whistleblow.
What? Really? By who?
Some
Nancy
maniac.
Pelosi? No, it wasn't Nancy Pelosi.
No, it was when the event was ending, when we did the actual the National Press Club event wrapped up. I did a short little interview with some guys that were producing a documentary, and then when we were going to exit the building, my friend who went with me, who was a former crew member from South Pole, also we're going to the elevators to exit, and we approached as a debacle just got cleaned up. Apparently, some dudes attempted to attack Dr. Greer. Security got involved, threw these dudes into an elevator back down to the ground floor. As we were approaching and the elevator was descending, they were like, "Hey, be careful! This altercation just occurred. So we want to let you know you should, be careful." So I jumped in the elevator. We went down because I'm not afraid of people. It just is what it is. We got downstairs to the exit door, and my friend that was with me looked out the door, and she's like, "That's those guys right there, I bet." She's like, "Are you ready to go into bodyguard mode?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." I'm not going to stand inside like a vagina. So just exited the door, and these two big dudes, picture big goombas, like Tony Soprano type dudes, like big fat guys, right?
Guys with too much stories, though. I've been accused of that a number of times, of being a big fucking oaf.
Fair enough, but so I'm not trying to say they were jacked dudes, like football players. These were just big beastly dudes, right? Probably weighed twice as much as me. Maybe had an inch or two on me, if I remember correctly.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty tall for generally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a small dude. Is what it is.
But these are just a couple of gavones. You're telling me
these are big dudes. Technically, there's a good chance they could have tuned me up, but whatever. So I exit the door, and instantly this one dude just engages. He's screaming at me, and he's like, "Are you with those a-holes, blah, blah, blah?" And I turn, I look back at the door, and there's no one there. So I just looked at him, and I said, "I don't know who you're talking about." I said, "You're the only a-hole I see anywhere."
Whoa.
And he got incensed. So he had a buddy over at the car.
That didn't calm him down?
It didn't calm him down in the slightest, Kurt. I wasn't quite sure which a-hole he was referencing, but I only saw one. So he got really mad.
It's crazy to say that in a DC. Where were you again? DC? Where?
It was in DC, Washington D.C.
But at the hearing,
we had just exited the building where the National Press Club event was held. So we were on the street.
That's a crazy thing to happen very close to there, especially in the Capitol. All right, sorry. Just weird.
No worries. Yeah, they were inside. So they were attending the event, apparently tried to attack Greer, got exited by security, and we're now on the street.
Did they yell any slogans or reasons for why they were doing it?
I didn't catch the debacle upstairs, but apparently words were exchanged. Herrera had told me about it, but I forget what he said had occurred. He was present for the upstairs debacle with Greer. I shut up after those guys got ejected into the elevator and forced out.
Okay,
that's so crazy because when Greer was down looking at the Boogosphere, he was there when those guys dressed up like cops and tried to come in and steal it, and they weren't really cops. Did you hear about that?
I didn't. Stuff like that, with my experience, it makes me start to wonder if this is stagecraft also.
I guess it could be. But yeah, gosh. Well, I don't know whatever came of those cops. I'll have to look into that because I remember they came in dressed as cops, and I believe Greer and maybe his security team had something to do with kind of expelling them and figuring out that they weren't real cops. But I'll have to look into that.
I don't think for a half a second, Gabe, that the people that I engaged with were real tough guys.
No, just assholes.
Or stagecraft.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously what occurred to me was in June of 23.
Right.
So if we start to pay attention to patterns, if at every event there's this incident that occurs.
Right.
I mean, patterns mean things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because that's going to discourage people, or
it looks cool, right? Like I actually believe a lot of the stuff that we see in the podcast community, the X spaces, right? All these people talking about I'm being threatened and I'm scared. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Nope. I think it's a tactic. It's to pull on the heartstrings of people. It's to play the victim card. I don't believe it.
Oh yeah, I think there's a big
unless you've
been
nose to nose with an assailant in the street, like I was. I wouldn't say you're under threat. Oh, someone typed a mean message to you. Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna get you because I typed it. You're like, shut the fuck up. Don't be a pussy. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Well, I will say, just speaking specifically to the threat thing, only because it's sort of relevant and it just recently happened, is that the people that are saying, basically threatening death via
the internet.
Yeah, is
I don't see that. Like, I don't see that as
disturbing.
I see it as BS.
Oh, I think it's bullshit too, and I think it's
A, I don't even know that I believe that it occurred, and B, even if it did occur, so what? Like, somebody on the internet said they're going to kill you. Like, really? So what?
It was just kind of a weird. Did you? I'm not sure if you watched any of it. We'll watch it sometime.
I literally, like, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many times people threatened me on the internet because I never counted because I didn't care because I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So these people, like, now contemporarily, I'm hearing people on the internet, like, they get threatened once and they're all over the internet screaming from the hills about how they're scared about it. It's like, I don't know. Tell you how many times I've been threatened on the internet. How many times people said that if you leave the state of Alaska and go speak an event, I'm going to meet you there and I'm going to take care. Like, I've heard that so many times.
Yeah,
that it's just like I
you
never
would get
took
that
it
a lot. Like,
tons.
Where would that come from? Like, email, phone calls, like
email, public chats, like literally my Facebook page, like. I would post it publicly, like, so people would start harassing me, and I found a wonderful technique was to just, like, put them on blast, right? So let's say you were commenting on my posts and making threats, right? Which happened all the time. If you became belligerent about it, I would just simply take your homepage, right? Gabriel Speaks, whatever, right? And then I would make a post on my page. Hey, this is a guy that's harassing me. Take a look at the comments, blah, blah, blah. I would just put him on blast.
Right.
I wouldn't cry about it.
Yeah.
But I found that it was very effective when you shine lights on cockroaches, they just run away.
Yeah. Well, I will give kudos to Tupa and Red, because I think that's what they're doing. They're not backing down. And they're calling out what they're seeing. I think the show Disclosure tonight is probably, I don't know, if somebody takes a look at those videos, I mean, it might get yanked. I really don't know. It's a little over the top.
Yeah, I think they're loving the threats because they're doing the same thing. They're engagement farming off of it. They're not trying to get past it. They're embracing it.
Oh, of course.
They love it.
Right. What I mentioned earlier.
Continuing the bickering, which questionably makes them one of the margins.
Yes. Yeah. And if you have to talk about disclosure 5 nights a week, you're going to run out of shit to talk about. Right. Like,
Right. If you don't
You
have
can only
skin in
talk
the
about
game,
that so much.
if you don't have skin in the game, and you don't have a legitimate agenda for the truth, then you have to embrace all of the bullshit with great regularity.
Yeah. Well, and I think they embrace everything Mr. Elizondo tells them. So
I think they love eating and serving shit sandwiches.
yes, they love the shit with the relish and the
Yep,
mayo and extra cheese, all of
Hook me up.
Oh
Here's a
boy.
question. I mean, you probably don't know, but well, I mean, I'm sure you know this part of the question. Like, how did you meet Dr. Greer?
I met Greer through John Warner the Fourth.
Oh, because I see him on Dark Journals all the time. John Warner the Fourth.
Yeah, John's great.
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty fucking cool, actually.
He's very cool. I stayed at his place when I went to DC. He hosted me there.
So how is how like Stephen Greer will be? I think here's the thing is funny. There's a lot of these people that I don't trust them, but I don't think they're lying to me. You know, the way you do a good disinfo is you include truth with it, and you can actually, if you're going to be a useful operative, you can be assigned to throw out the most amount of truth, because I'm going to have you over here in the pen of this is stuff we don't even listen to. So you have like how I would do it. When I just in my head, I would have like degrees of people telling the lie, and I'm going to keep cognizant of who's going to get to see who, you know, because I already divide people into their fucking algorithms or whatever. And I bet you a lot of stuff he's saying is true, and not even so much lies as leaving important parts out, which would. So here's the thing that I would wonder from watching him, because I have zero problem believing they figured a bunch of shit out and you don't get to use it. I mean, there's nothing more believable or true to history.
Right.
You know when Neanderthal, they go, how come for like 100 some, I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands of years, technology is just flint tools and stagnant. And all of a sudden there's this great leap and nobody knows why. And I was like, well, did it ever occur to you maybe some of the Neanderthals figured out some better shit, and then they put on robes and hid in the woods, and they made it for themselves and their families, and they purposely kept the other Neanderthals down.
It makes me
came up with bowl or something.
If George Carlin was alive right now, he'd be on stage saying that, there's a big monopolized technology club and you're not in it.
Yeah, and I don't think the club is big. I think it's remarkably small for what it should be.
Right.
And they say breakaway civilization. I wish these motherfuckers would break away and get the fuck out. I'm really sick of all of them. It's always like a hall of mirrors of bullshit. Here's my question. Well, let me get to my. I'm probably one of the worst interviewers in the history.
No, this is fantastic. This is a dialogue. It's not an interview. It's a dialogue.
I just hang out with friends of mine on here. And that's all I do. And so this is what I realized. Like, if you're just bugging my phone calls or something. Okay, so why would Dr. Greer be briefing Bill Clinton? Oh, somebody just texted me. I know he's a controlled. My friend texts me. I'm like, I know he's a controlled, but I want to know. Like, that's a very strange detail of briefing 3 presidents. Also, Bill Clinton? What? And I believe George H.W. said, you don't get to know about that. But I'm sure at some point he did get to know about that, because Bill did he played ball. Also, why did, this isn't really to Greer, but why did the Blink-182 guy,
right?
I didn't know this until I did Jesse Michaels. Jesse, last few episodes are great of Jesse Michaels, by the way. I would say the last 3 episodes, they're worth watching. Not endorse anybody's shit or not. I'm just saying, I got something out of them. That's all I go by.
Yeah.
Blink-182 wrote an email to John Podesta that said, I just want to start, because he'd been trying to learn about the truth of UAPs. And so he wrote to John Podesta. This is pre-Pizzagate.
Right.
Why would that piece of shit? Why would a ping pong and pizza enthusiast such as him know of the secrets of the aliens? Why? That's so creepy and suspicious. And this is what gets left out of everything. All this Freemason compass bullshit is all over all of this. And so for some reason, I only get to see people talk about one or the, well, not Dark Journal is great. My friend Emma's podcast is great. I love her shit's great. I like when people are trying to make the big picture for me, because I don't understand. Is the Men in Black or not the I'm not talking about the homunculi thought projections or whatever. I'm talking about the movie where it's like, we're the secret of the secret that keeps your reality safe and so you can live your stupid life. Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, dickheads. Thank you for.
I think they believe that.
Of course.
I think that they believe it, but the scary thing is I do believe that there are factions like that. And I don't even think it's one faction. I think there's many factions that are of that belief that they're the ones doing the right thing. Yeah. And they're all at war with each other. And this is above nation state stuff.
Do people get this? That there's 8 levels above the president?
Right.
There's 8 levels of classified above the president. It's not a secret.
I keep laughing at everybody in the disclosure circles that are like, we need to get the truth about the technology from the government. It's like, you do realize the government doesn't make tech. They don't manufacture stuff. They purchase.
They just take your money, asshole.
Right. They take our money, send it to the manufacturers who then produce. So I find it laughable that people think that even the government has the maximum level of technology available to them when they don't, right? If you owned Lockheed Martin and I owned Raytheon, we build the weapons, right? We would be collaborating and being like, dude, we got the good stuff. Like, why would we arm anyone else better than the armaments we have? It's ridiculous to consider. So that the military industrial corporations have the highest level of technology.
So for those people saying, like, there's no way that Herrera story could be real. Like, there's no way there's some military out there that would be more advanced than ours, that would be able to get the drop on ours. Not so fast.
Well, don't think military. It's above. Militaries operate for governments.
Right.
Governments purchase equipment from manufacturers.
Yes.
And manufacturers are wielding unregulated technology because no one knows it exists until such time they sell it to a government, who then we, the people, only become privy to it after the government's done using it for 30 years, and then they roll it out as if it's brand new tech. After it becomes battlefield ineffective, then they go to the public and go, look what we just made.
Mm-hmm. And this is the ultimate of technology that we have right now. And it's all the biggest con job. Yep. And then people want to know. Yeah, absolutely. One motive.
Control. Money means nothing.
Well, that gets you the control, right?
No, the tech does.
No? Yes. Great point. Great point.
The tech gets you to control the money. So the power of money is in removing it from people. That's the power play. It's not that having money gives you power.
Hold on.
It's preventing others from having it that enslaves them to you.
Okay, wait. So that should be written down somewhere, everybody. Hold on. The power of money is in the taking it away, you said, or you phrased it better.
It's in removing it from you. It's setting up a situation that allows them, because they have more money than they'll ever need. They have more money than they could possibly spend. It's not the money. It's your desire for money and their ability to prevent you from having it.
Yeah.
So you get caught in this wage slave debt cycle.
Yes.
And they now have control over you.
Right. That's a great way to look at it. And I know, like, similar things have been said in different ways, but for whatever reason, that really struck a chord with me, phrasing it that way. Mm-hmm. Because it's true, right? Like, we do worry about
dangling a carrot. It's the proverbial dangling of the carrot. You don't have the carrot. You better try harder. As if the guy that has sitting on 10 trillion carrots, it really doesn't matter that he has 10 trillion. It's just that he gets you to dance for one.
Right. But if you could take those 10 trillion carrots away, that guy couldn't sleep.
Then you've just applied the power back at him. You've removed his pile.
Right. Wow. Right. That's good stuff from Eric Hecker, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're soaking that in. All right, let's keep going here.
just as much as the government is an intermediary to then limit the technology we the people use. There's layers to this.
Yes,
and
dude,
it starts higher at the corporation levels, where they're slowly rolling out high tech into the armies of the world so they can kill each other. You know, they're not selling them their best product.
It's going to be a one world government. And
they're definitely pushing for it.
That's always been the goal since Atlantis of old. See, the thing you just said is very important, because that's why let's say these fucking lunatic fucking psychopath esotericist inbred fucks that run all this shit. A huge quantum leap in their tech, where it's like so beyond, they go, so everyone knows 46 years ahead standard. People should assume that.
And I don't think people might think that statement is weird, but I think there's a lot to that inbred thing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The government's ahead. Like what our military has easily is that.
Easily.
I think they hit a point where it's way more than that. Now what do? Because you're a fuck. Obviously you hate democracy and you're a cunt. So what you're going to do is come up with elaborate pyramid scheme reasons of why you gotta hide this and nobody can know, because people aren't ready, when really you and your lizard fuck family aren't ready.
Right, exactly.
Everybody else is sick of this shit. But so now if you have that tech, if you think about your calendar and our concept of time, which is literally handed to you by somebody, like I always think about, like, why is time count down backwards and then start up going forwards again because of Jesus? I don't even understand how that connects, dude. But those are just the marks you made. They don't really indicate how anything fucking works, but they are a vice on your head, so you think about it wrong out of the gate, so that I control how you fucking think about it out of the gate.
Absolutely.
Right? China's system, I don't know what wackadoo year the thing is, but it's like 10. They're in the future. They're in like 10,000 or something now. So what you see how like arbitrary, it's as arbitrary as the age of consent in some ways. Anyway, they fucking if I have tech and you don't, dude, I live in the future. Okay, I time travel to the future, right? And now that I'm a enlightened future being, I can look into the past at you, third world animal, peasant, and I go, oh my god, I mean, we've got to get to this timeline. Right. And I'm actually a protector of the timeline. I'm just a dickhead with nicer shit than you at the end of the day. But in my head, I'm protecting the time. You see how easy it is to time travel?
Actually. I've done a moderate amount of traveling around the globe, so to say, not the flat earth.
Just go in a straight line, it's flat.
I've been to some places where the people, I would say, are obviously less fortunate than myself. And yes, it's almost like an analogy of time traveling, that it's like me traveling into the past when I get to these areas where the people are so poor and their technology is non-existent. Of course, they have a cell phone, so they can get, the mass media pumped into their heads. But other than that, I mean, they don't have running water. They don't have sewage systems. It's back in time.
Oddly shaped alien named Bill Gates is coming to the countries to show them how to turn their poo into water.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's how these fucks view themselves, because they live it. So I can easily see an endless cycle of that goes back a long way. And
I think that there's a clique that is that breakaway civilization aspect that's here right now, where we're, at the level that you and I operate at, there's people that are above that look at you and me like Neanderthal men.
Well, I mean,
because of what they have access to.
I got a Hawk Tua hat on. You know why I have this? It was free merch. What a shameful hat. Of course they look down on me. Why wouldn't they? I'm wearing a Hawk Tua hat. What kind of an imbecile would do that?
You're just a crypto investor.
Yeah, I call those people FUDs now, mind you. I just call them FUDs, and I say, don't stop me on my way to the moon.
I think there's another interesting thing that people miss a beat on regularly is like, nowadays, you and me and a lot of other people, it's very obviously that the mass media is wholly corrupted, right? But people think of that concept as a modern problem. I think it's always been an issue, right? Because
It's
1,000 years ago, who was producing books? Poor people or rich people? What do you think they put in the book?
That was the magic
was that the
that you
mass
could read.
media at the time that was also just controlled, contrived, and collaborations to mold the minds of the masses way back when? I feel like this has just been a problem since time immemorial. That it's history repeating itself. If we're not,
you gotta watch the Mark
learning from
Windows
history.
one, dude. Mark Windows from Windows on the World. I found his videos. I don't know why people complain about algorithms. I find all kinds of interesting shit in my algorithm all the time.
Mhm.
I think it's you people that aren't curious enough, and that's why your algorithm, what washes up on your shores is horse shit. You know? But I find like wild shit, dude, that I'm way into. But Windows on the World, go look up Egyptian crowd control. It's all about the Pharaoh system.
Oh, okay.
Now, I meant to ask him. I didn't get a chance, but when he comes on again, I'm going to ask him if he knows anything about this, because the dude Nathan Reynolds I bring up constantly because of the amount of loose threads that turned out to be true that he gave me to pull on. Okay? I'm telling you, not a single. Now, I haven't verified all the things he said because some of them are so crazy, Eric. But anyway.
I feel like crazy ideas nowadays are just original ideas. They sound crazy because no one said it before, but in reality, it's just some original critical thinking.
Yeah, well, I like you ever hear the stupid? I love stupid conspiracies where they kind of get a concept
Like flat Earth.
Well, it's like you get a concept and you then think flat. You turn two-dimensional in your fucking head when you're thinking. So you're like, it's flat, and why would they? That I still say, now I can't prove it, but I say that's a Jesuit psyop, and I think the motive of it is to have people adhere to something that's inherently irrational on purpose.
Okay, are you ready for this? This is so Red Panda.
It shows a Jesuit flat Earth map.
Red Panda Koala, as if he was watching. Maybe, we don't know. Found this for us. I mean, it's not for us, but it almost seems like it's for us because this is a hidden camera of U.S. Freemasons Master Mason initiation ritual. Have you ever seen this? One of these?
I've never seen this video, no.
Me either. So we were just talking about the Masons. Neither one of us are really sure whether they were great or good or bad guys or whatever. And this won't tell us whether they're good or bad guys.
Well,
however,
they certainly put together a great Declaration of Independence.
They did. Let's take a look at this. So this says it's I'm going to try to make this screen just a fudge bigger. Okay, Hidden camera of U.S. Freemasons Master Mason initiation ritual. Let's take a look.
At the East Gate. Grandmaster Hiram Beth, I'm glad to meet you, Russell. Give me the secrets of a Master Mason, or I will take your life.
This is no time or place for the man, no secrets.
Talk not to me about time, place, nations, or the completion of the temple. Give me the secrets of a Master Mason, or I will take your life.
It behooves you in this rude and violent manner thus to demand no secrets. When the temple's complete, if found worthy, you'll then receive them lawfully as I have.
You have passed Jubilo. Me you cannot pass. My name is Jubilo, well known for my determination of character. What I undertake, that I do. Give me the secrets of a Master Mason instantly, for I will take your life.
I will not.
What? Still persist? Then die.
Lord, use this. You have slain the Grandmaster Hiram Bill.
This is no time for reflection. What shall we do with the body?
We'll carry the greater rubbish to the temple and the low flow. Again, and discuss what to do with it.
Agreed.
So it's clearly a rehearsed ceremony here with some Oscar level acting. Oh my, what will we do? But yeah, I mean, it's weird
trying to think
to the
what
uninitiated.
What was the on The Simpsons? What did they call the stone cutters or something?
So, yeah, something like that.
It's just making me think of that.
So they had shovels and they're digging. Okay, here's part 2. Carrying the okay, so they pretend buried them, and then brought them back from the dead.
Let us make our escape out of the kingdom.
Seafaring man.
Let us hail thee. Hail, Captain, hail. Hello. Is that your ship yonder? It is. Whither are you bound? To Ethiopia. Do you take passengers? I do. Will you take us?
Okay, so but let's be real for a minute here, okay? This is like Gary from the gas station on the corner, right? This is like Bob that sells real estate right here. And this is like, I don't know, what's that? Tim, maybe a car salesman or something. But like these guys don't look like they're gonna do satanic rituals. I don't know.
Right. Good. You know something? Good point. As I was trying to figure out a way to put it to words, but yeah. So, I mean, like for the most part, like it's a hidden camera of U.S. Freemasons. Like, so it's like people love to I guess try to slam with great regularity. So it's like I was almost waiting for where's the horrible thing here?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I mean, we got a little bit to go.
They're doing some stagecraft. They're walking and doing stuff.
Right. But, and I try to think of it this way.
Is there anything that you saw here that's terrible?
Not really. I mean, I try to think of it this way as I'm
It looks
Christian.
like theater club.
Yeah, it does. And so
Right?
I was explaining to me this one time, I'm Christian, right? If somebody that had never heard of Christ or anything like that.
If they attended a mass for the first time, they might think you're all nuts.
Exactly. You're eating flesh of the flesh and drinking his blood. What is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're just uninitiated. They just don't. Yeah. So I try when I see things like this.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I did 13 years Catholic school, right? We drank we ate the body of Christ and drank his blood every Sunday. So
there's nothing weird about that. Nothing at all. It's weird about that.
Yeah, technically, what I did at Mass on Sunday as a Catholic was a lot more peculiar than this.
Exactly. So I just when I see this stuff,
it holds the blood of Christ.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll keep going here. Maybe it gets a little crazy. And I don't think Red says it is crazy or anything. That he's just reposting.
Understood, but this is
whoever
par for the
posted
course.
this. Yeah, whoever posted this tried to make it look.
At the feet of Red Panda. This is a typical engagement farming post.
I
mean, it is what it is.
He is good at that.
Yeah, he provides no opinion. He provides no oversight. It's just here. Take a look. Get me some likes.
Yeah, but that's okay too. I mean,
is it really?
I don't know. But I guess it depends, right?
What shall we do?
Let us turn back into the country.
Agreed.
Oh, let's see. Anjali had something to say here.
Most excellent King Solomon, the Grand Master Hydrobit is missing. Missing? How do you know to be missing? You seen the Grand Master Hydrobit?
I see that. Anjali, what's the weird part? What's more weird than a Christian mass?
No. I will say, yeah, I mean, there is the, they do have the checkered floor, which I know is typical for a Masonic lodge, but it's definitely not the nicest lodge if it is a lodge I've seen, or maybe it's the downstairs of a lodge, I don't know. What is with the screen?
Didn't we see that earlier?
Yeah, I guess they did it again.
Oh, this just doubled over.
So they're killing everyone and bringing them back, I guess. That's what it kind of looks like. So Master Mason initiation right here. I'll kind of skip forward here. Humming while walking. I mean, they're kind of doing the same thing with this guy.
It looks like they're just doubling the video clips over.
Yeah, nothing really looks.
Sometimes they do that with videos for like copyright stuff. They'll just like.
Oh well, this okay. Now, guy doesn't have his clothes on. Oh, he has pants on, I guess.
Thank goodness. Now comes pants off, dance off.
Okay, so he's blindfolded, and there's some kind of strap system here. I'm not sure what that's about, but it looks like from the subtitles that they're doing some kind of an oath. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I saw weirder things in the army, to be honest with you. I'm waiting. Does he whip him at some point, or because other than that, it's just kind of a weird initiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any kids yet, right? I didn't miss that part.
No, no kids were eaten.
No goats or anything like that.
No, nobody was harmed in the filming of that episode.
So in general, pretty benign.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, nothing.
Right.
But again, like he posts that, but that does show us, like, well, not that crazy. You hear all the stuff about it,
right?
But it's just kind of a weird ceremony, that they do to initiate their people. But like so many organizations have weird ass ceremonies.
I thought you brought up a great point with the Catholic Mass and stuff. Yeah, like if people didn't know and they showed up and they're like, what did these people do? Like take this.
Right. I wish I could say I thought of that, but I heard that somewhere. But yeah,
well, either way, you brought it up tonight.
Yeah, but it's true. It's people, you would walk in and you'd be like, what the hell are these people?
Yeah, technically, is this cannibalism class?
So I wanted to bring this up as a joke. This is the guy that Kurt Metzger, I think, would probably strangle if he saw in real life. Oh, and I was just curious, what is it that drives him crazy about this guy?
Colorado. It is the 10th of October, and it's just after closing time in Washington D.C. And right after everybody closed.
Earlier in the interview,
said that there's going to be 100% tariff on everything coming from China by November.
Earlier in the interview with Eric and Kurt had said that he absolutely hates this gentleman. I had never heard of him, and so I wanted to see why.
First, if not before, because the Chinese are putting restrictive policies on their exports of rare earth materials, most notably to the United States. Rare earths are materials that are produced in trace amounts as a byproduct of the refining and mining of other metals, most notably silver, lithium, copper. You basically have to take the concentrate that's left over once you've gotten the primary stuff and then go through a series of refining steps that are very energy intensive and very polluting. And China has cornered that market. So they produce more than 80% of all of these materials.
Again, it's kind of like nails on a chalkboard a little bit.
Monopoly.
And I think that's one of the issues Kurt has. But I think the other issue here, this is clean cut Kurt.
Traditional things that can be used.
Does this guy not look like clean cut Kurt?
Oh my God, you're right.
I found this to be.
I think you're onto something. I wonder if this is his evil twin or something.
Yeah, there's some self-hatred from Kurt going on here because he sees how close he can be.
Their exports. Trump has said no more, and is now basically saying that he's going to double or more the tariff.
Oh goodness, that's hilarious.
He loathes that he sees himself in this man.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. I think we're almost there. Got a little bit left here.
Getting close.
A bulwark against secular. It reeks of like 1,000-year-old papist bullshit.
It goes back to MK Ultra stuff again too, which is the Jesuit, mind manipulation and traumatizing people into believing bullshit.
Jobs. Yeah, mashing your nuts up and whatever. I mean, anyway, what were we talking about before that? I blanked out because I've been mind controlled. As you know, I was engaged.
Yes, you probably just got your Takescoscope subliminal programming.
I just got Takescoscope. By the way, if I ever die, you have anything, I want everybody to know.
Just pick a quadrant and select your answer, please, visually.
Yeah, just so everyone watching this knows, if I die, it was murder. Okay, even if it was my own fault through my own actions. It was a conspiracy. I don't ever regret that.
Self-inflicted
murder. I remember now. So Nathan says on I don't know whose podcast it's on. and I've never heard anybody else mention this, but the pharaonic system in Egypt started with like funeral scams, where like these guys that were in charge of burying the dead kind of took over everything. Okay, I've never heard anything like that. It sounds very interesting. I might even be mangling what he said a little bit, but I don't think I am. But it started out as like a shakedown for your dead loved ones. And I would love to know where he got that from, because a bunch of other interesting things I've only heard about in a lot of with a lot of looking I got from him, like Ofa. Or the Cathar, you know the Cathars, you ever hear them?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a ritualized estate sale. Mark is giving me a message about. Yeah, well, yeah, I know it's. I agree, it's a ritualized estate sale, but I just want to know where Nathan found that, or if he heard it from one of his family contacts, because he's from a family perhaps as important as the von Schmerkensteins. Did I bring that? Should I not mention that name a lot? Am I gonna have a problem?
You know something? I couldn't answer that question. I've put it out there, and I guess we'll find out what happens.
Am I gonna have a problem from Maersk now? the container company. Is that the guy that owns all the containers, or is that?
That was a different guy that I worked for. I worked for a billionaire also, and he's passed away since. George Macris, really nice guy. He was a Greek shipping magnate.
Did he know Onassis?
I probably. So he was, dude. This guy was like 6'8", like 90 some odd years old, with the eye patch over one eye. Like he was a full blown like pirate. But this guy was mad cool. Actually, I got along with this guy great. This is what I said. I got a lot of customers that were evil, and are probably trying to take over the world. But there are other clients that I had that I got along with well, and that's probably why I'm not dead. Is that I have good backing that I don't even realize the friends that I made. George Macris was one of them, and he had like this really old mansion on the North Shore of Long Island, the Gold Coast, and he was really cool. So he had pictures of freighter ships all over his house. Like it was like the weirdest thing, but he always bragged that he's like, I own them all. And he was like, all these other companies like Maersk, he goes, they lease my ships. I own all his ships.
Yes, they're leasing the ships.
Right. But, he was the owner, and they leased like everything they leased from him.
That's like the dream if you want to become super rich, is figure out the thing, that one part in the supply chain that like for some reason nobody's there. And that's one of them, dude, because I would never even think about some shit like that. But Greg Shaley from Alaska, he told me that's how he always thinks. Like, I wonder who takes the trash out. Like, I wonder who does this and that. If you got any kind of head for business, you look at that. But I guess this guy is a 6'8" Nephilim. Plus he's probably from the days of Noah, so he knows about how important ships are. Yeah.
This guy, he was mad cool.
What's Schwaller de Lubix? Oh, an Egypt. Okay. Oh, boy, Mark is a real crazy kook that knows all this shit. Apparently, that's in Walter Lubitz. A book by Walter Lubitz, I assume. It's an Egyptologist. A lot of stuff about
that last name rings a bell.
Yeah. Well, I just got done watching this. It's like Modern Hermeticist. There's a channel called Modern Hermeticist, and they're very long videos, but a lot of them are very interesting because he's reading, like Eusebius or some guy writing about some group. This one, I don't know who it is. I don't think it's Eusebius. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's talking about the Cathars. Now, Cathars will be portrayed as a persecuted Gnostic sect, right? But Nathan, the guy who said the other wacky shit that I have been obsessed with finding the rest of, he said it's just some homosexual cult. That's all it was. They were just gay.
Cathars?
The Cathars. And then I listened to this reading of what the Cathars are into. And it made me laugh so hard, Eric. Okay, first of all, being a married man and woman is just as bad of a sin, I don't know if you know this, as incest or homosexuality or pedophilia. Newsflash. Punished just as much as for those things. Don't think you're not. Even being a married heterosexual. And not only that, if you eat meat or eggs or fish or milk That's a sin as bad as like child molestation, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So they're fucking
I'm so
vegans.
screwed.
They're vegans, dude. They
You're a
deserve
dead man,
everything
Gabe.
they got. When they
Soul
added
is
the
damned.
veganism to the sexual deviancy, that's where I draw the line, Eric, and I make that clear on this show. And we don't want no furries around here neither.
You're not going to any brony conventions in the near future?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not. I got to stay in the loop because I'm on a hot podcast. So I got to know what's going on out there. You know,
It's just research. It's just research.
I'm just researching bronies. It's
Do you have like
weird.
the hooves for your front claws, the strap-on hooves?
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't want to give away my not till the big hoof contest is coming up, as you know. So I don't want to give it away, but I will say,
It was my understanding the Cathars was what instigated the Inquisition back in the day, because it was at the time the Roman Catholic Church and the Cathars were the two largest religious sects. But
there's
the
two kinds of
Cathars.
Cathars.
The Cathars were growing at a more exponential rate than Roman Catholicism, and the Cathars didn't require collecting money, didn't have organized churches and papacy to follow, that it was more, you and your God, there's nobody in between you.
Right.
So that was very
But
much
don't fuck your wife.
the Catholic Church industry. Well,
Well,
it makes
yeah,
me
of
wonder
course.
if those statements about the Cathars were just thrown at their feet to discount them, that
Well,
they're not necessarily true. I mean, it's,
let me
it's
put it this
possible
way.
that the mass media at the time was also compromised.
Let me put it this way. What do you think would be a true competition for the Catholic Church, if not a better, leaner, meaner homosexual organization?
There you go.
They're going to compete on the level of all that shit with the Catholic. Come on, man. They're not going to. We're number one in that shit, and you don't change. I don't know. Most people think I attack Catholics just because I say horribly disrespectful things about their faith, including to some of my best friends, James McCann, comic James McCann, an adult convert to Catholicism, which I'm going to put him on trial for coming up on a People's Curp episode. Oh, I should announce.
Curp, I love it.
Yeah, I should announce this. So I'm getting my Patreon done tonight. So I got all this premium content that I've been making, and one of them is the trial of Matt Edgar, whose dad is Deputy Undersecretary of Homeland Security. So I tried to connect Matt to Jeffrey Epstein, obviously, and my case was thin. We'll put it that way. But that's this is a great episode of the People's Curb. I got 2 or 3 episodes with Sam Tripoli, the Sam
nice.
experiment, and the last one that we just made, we created a new AI called Chat BET, and let me tell you something, it works.
Chat BET, you said?
Yeah, and he just said more hood every time we didn't like what we heard. Now I know what a lot of people out there are going to say. Okay, fine, but Curb, can it also use a Korean accent? And the answer is yeah, it fucking can. You could say more Korean. You could create a beautiful. I mean, it's amazing what was created that day. And then I got an episode with Ali Sadiq I haven't put out, and my Dave Landau. Oh my God. Anyway, it's because here's the thing. I don't care about my business, so I don't do a good job with it, Eric. Do you understand? I have other things. But I just want to tell people, putting that up tonight so then you can start paying me finally. That's the number one message. Kurt, how can I pay you? That's about time. That's the thing customers have been clamoring for.
I get that all the time.
There you go.
Let me read some chat.
It's the hardest bridge to,
I got to put in I just got my code mailed to me to get super chats, so I can't get super chats. I'll just read some of these chats. More hood. I choked my chicken from Jonathan Brown. Dude, Chat BT, I gotta say, I'm really proud of it.
That's good.
Scott Farquharson says Chat DMT will blow your mind. They say that, but it's like the Matrix. I'm not that impressed. Chris Stubbs says watch with an asterisk. All right. Peter Two Finger says weak ass 6th grader, probably about something we are talking about earlier. Live with Meter and Drug and Measure. No Measure BA says I only really watch Ben Avery, Doug Stanhope, and Toshwood. And also the dope with Curb. Clearly, if your comment, I mean, does he not watch the show and he just wrote a comment to tell me he'll only watch his other shows? Is that what that is? Bravo to you if that is what you did. That's a hilarious thing to do, but I don't think that's what that means.
All right, we'll leave the remainder of the show for those that want to go watch. I did put the link in the chat for y'all. Make sure you go, at the very least, give it a like. Hop over there, give it a like. It's an amazing video. Obviously, like, my cheeks hurt, and we're 2/3 of the way through. This is Eric's website, deciphering.tv, which is going to be already is amazing with all the content it has on it. But we're going to be adding more and more and more.
Absolutely. We are adding to the network. It's now officially turning into a network, which is wild. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And then in the grand scheme of things, because Kurt motivated me to bring it up, if you notice on the top header there is now a donate button.
Oh, look at that.
So if you would like to support this website, which is a bastion for freedom for we the people, going against all things social media and algorithms, you can cut right through the chase right now. And you can donate to try to help support this website and our efforts. This is we the people, for the people. And, you know, there you go. Oh, damn. You're not allowed to. It knows your bank account doesn't have it, Gabe.
Oh, that's what maximum 10,000. Okay.
Yeah,
well, so you're going to be restricted.
I will not accept more than $10,000 from any one person, Gabe.
And good
I'm
conscience.
limiting generosity.
That's right.
You know,
that's right. We don't want you guys getting crazy. Okay.
Right.
No more than 10,000.
No more than 10 grand.
Keep the donations small, around 7 to 10 grand.
Yeah. You know, let's not be ridiculous. And if you want to give more than 10 grand, I mean, you can always just sign back in, I gather. I don't know.
Absolutely. Create another account, whatever. Send Eric cash in the P.O. box. It's all
Use your sock puppet account. I don't care. This is where sock puppet accounts come in handy.
Awesome. So yeah, couple of things I wanted to cover with you first before we hop out of here. One, did you ever hear the report that there was DEWs used on January 6th?
I did not.
Okay. It's not a very long it's not a very long report, but I didn't hear this either, and I wanted to get your take on this. What you
got it. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I hadn't heard this.
Well, to a bombshell new report from journalist Stephen Baker, who says that General Mark Milley during the January 6th protests used directed energy weapons against those protesters. In fact, many months later, boasted about it. Directed energy weapons to break up the protests. How exactly do these work? This is a stunning admission. And Steve has been working on this report for, I believe, 2 years of journalism to get to the bottom of this. And Steve Baker from Blaze Media joins us now. Steve, welcome back to the show. Great to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me back.
My pleasure. This is a stunning report, and when I saw you first posting about this, I was shocked. Can you just walk me through the pieces of this and how these directed energy weapons were deployed against these protesters?
Well, here's what we don't know. Let me start there. We don't know to what extent they were used, at least on the DoD side of things. We do know that LRADs, or the audio versions, were in fact used by the United States Park Police. So this is where it gets so confusing, Clayton, is because there's so many distinctions between these types of weapons. What we do know is that
park rangers have directed energy weapons.
In fact, in a meeting, this was just this past fall, in 2024,
fantastic,
with about 20 other active duty officers, one of them being our source for this story, in which he was either bragging or just mentioning in casual discussion, whatever the case may be, that they had authorized or signed off on the use of both, as he said, heat and sound weapons to be used at Lafayette Square Park on
the heat is the active denial system.
That was, of course, the famous scene where Trump walked across the street. He had the Bible.
That's the what now? The active
denial system is the heat system. The acoustic is the LRAD.
Okay. And what's the difference? What's the purpose of them? What do they do?
They call it crowd control when used at I guess you would say lower power levels. But they have the capacity to be turned up to maximum and just start laying waste to people. I mean, the LRAD is an acoustic system, which they like, you can go to the YouTube page for Genesis, Genassys, and they literally have all the commercials that market their products. The LRAD, the backpack system, they'll give you descriptions on how it works. You can look at the dials where there's like a green zone, a yellow zone, and a red zone.
Right.
They're listed as non-lethal weapons. Gabe, that's if you don't put it in the red zone.
Right.
But then they'll say, well, the officers are trained to never put it in the red zone. Why do you have a red zone?
Yeah.
And
this is what we're talking about right here.
There you go, Genesis, LRAD. Boom, perfect. Yeah, so you can learn everything you want. These are commercially available products. Okay. Now the active denial system is microwaves. They're cooking you.
Right.
They're literally just shooting a microwave beam at you, and they say, "Oh, it's a heat system." Yeah, that's what happens when you get put in a microwave. Right? Like, obviously, if you're only in there for a few seconds, Gabe, it just hurts for a few seconds, right? So they give you a quick blast, and the idea is everyone runs away. Well, what if they keep blasting you while you're running?
Right. With some kind.
What if they don't let you out of the microwave beam?
Or what if you fall and you get stuck somehow? I mean, this is dangerous shit to be playing around with.
Absolutely. And they try to play it off as if it's non-lethal because the operator gets to choose the level of lethality, and we're supposed to trust that they will never, ever, 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 ever run it into the red zone.
Right. And here's the thing. Were you all aware that they're using this for crowd control?
They've been using this for a long time. The Seattle, this was used in Seattle fucking decades ago.
Yeah.
With the what was it? I forget if it was the World Health
Seattle
Organization.
Riots. Yeah, the
WHO.
WHO.
Or the bank, yeah. So this stuff was used on American citizens decades ago at this point, and it's been being used ever since. So there's folks out there that call themselves targeted individuals. So the LRAD could literally fire a voice into your head at great distance, and if you were standing next to your wife right now, they can make it so that you hear it and she can't.
Could you imagine?
So that's that version of voice to skull.
Right. Could literally drive someone crazy.
Absolutely, because if they want to just keep pumping stuff in your head and your wife's next to you on the couch and you're like, do you not hear that? And she goes, no.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Now you're the crazy person.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's see what capacity did they use these things?
That sort of thing. We've got confirmation from a Department of Interior IG report out the police version of these audio weapons being used, and we have no confirmation yet, either by video or otherwise, of the DoD.
Pay close attention to what that just looked like, Gabe.
I was gonna say, y'all, note to self: you ever see that thing pointed your way, it's time to go.
Fits in a backpack.
Yep.
The DoD versions were just authorized for deployment. That meant it was intended to be used, and if DoD was firing on the United States citizens on the streets of America in our capital, we have some serious questions to ask.
Right, and so to be clear, these weapons were used, according to your reports, in June of 2020. Do we have any evidence at all that these may have been used in any capacity on January 6th?
Part 2 of our story is going to address that. I don't mind going ahead and telling you right now that we are going to provide evidence of the same type of system that was used by United States Park Police was in fact used on January 6th. We have the video evidence of that, and we'll be presenting that.
Wow. Well,
hey there, Boo Boo Bear. We got to get that picnic basket before the park ranger comes and blasts us with the LRAD.
Hell yes, I want. So we're going to have to do a space kind of covering that investigation, because I'm interested now. Like, what do they have? What were they doing? What can we actually prove?
Go to the Genesis YouTube page and peruse their many commercials advertising exactly what their products do. They have training videos. Like, this is this is what I've been getting at. Like, directed energy weapons exist. They're being wielded. Like, my testimony that I gave in DC was in June of 23. This guy's talking about it being used offensively against American people in the year 2020. So it's like this is excellent. I don't know when this video came out, but if you can send me a link to this, I'd really appreciate it. Because I've spoken with Clayton, so this is very awesome.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I've been on Redacted a couple of times, and
awesome.
Great videos. I love Clayton. He's very supportive of what I'm doing. But this is so interesting to me because I love when there's other people that come out and can corroborate and substantiate what I've been saying is that directed energy weapons are a problem, and we, the people, are already in the crossfire.
Right. They're using them, y'all. They're using them. Like, they have, from those images, street cops train on these things. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, they'll
this doesn't even require special units,
like billy clubs, and
right.
they'll, there's probably a nominal amount of training. Oh, this is how you turn it on. This is how you, whether you want to spread wide to the crowd or if you want to pinpoint a single person. This is the power level. We're approved to operate in the green. Sometimes, in case of an emergency, you can go to yellow, but you're never allowed to go to red.
Right.
Don't ever turn it up all the way because that's bad. Because then
if
it
my
could be fatal.
fiance dumps me and I'm having a bad day, just crank it up to red, just blast everybody's head off.
Do not give in to your tag program training, Gabe. I know you believe. I never made the test. I know you believe you failed the test and never went through the program, but that's part of the program, Gabe.
Oh boy. All right. This was so much fun, Eric. I had a blast. We're definitely let's do this. I'm gonna put together some stuff on this report here, and then maybe we can do a really space on it because
this report's fantastic what this guy's getting at. And then also I know you're a diligent researcher also. Look at the technology. Like there's literally paperwork on this stuff.
Oh, I will. I'll get together.
Blow your mind. Like they literally have like commercials where it's like, we here at LRAD are here to help. There's a lot of videos on showing how it's been tested and used. There's a lot of training videos that the military has online which show crowds of military personnel in training. Just like when you're in boot camp and they gas you, that you can learn like what it's to be gassed. So you learn the value of your mask, right? Like you remember all that stuff, right? So they put troops in the line of fire of the active denial system.
So they
can learn. Yes, so they have to feel it.
Okay. Which is full-blown military training do. Yeah, which is what they should do. I mean,
if you feel this, run the fastest you ever could and zigzag and get the hell.
Well, and if you're blasting somebody with this is what it feels like, and maybe give you a little bit of empathy at the very least.
You are gonna flip out when you see these guys because these are military folk, right? Like they click this thing on without pause. These guys haul ass to their aft section.
I'm sure.
There's no there's no resisting it.
Right.
It's almost like an invisible flamethrower. Right? If I shot a flamethrower at you, you could imagine the heat that would be there. But now just make it invisible.
Yeah. Yeah. And not really the only thing it's causing damage to is you. It's all the property around you and everything else is going to be fine.
Exactly. No
that's
collateral
the beauty
damage,
of it.
Gabe.
Yep. That's the beauty of it for these guys.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate go fuck yourself weapon.
Yeah. It's like the neutron bomb, right? That's why they had to outlaw it because they're like, no, if you could wipe out a whole city and not destroy any buildings.
Wait till you hear about ripple technology.
Oh God. You're going to send me down another rabbit hole.
Yeah. Look up what I'm trying to remember if it was Bosley or Farrell. But Ripple Nuclear Tech this was way back in the day. They figured out how to make nuclear bombs that basically don't have any after negative stuff. No radiation, no fallout.
Yeah, that's incredibly dangerous.
Right. I can decimate an area and not lay it to waste permanently for eons for half-life of radioactive decay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, we got all kinds of weapons that people have never heard about, Gabe.
I know it. Like, we're not even talking about chemical weapons. We haven't
like we
even
said at the front end of the conversation. It's almost like the military. I'm sorry. It's almost like the military weapons industrial corporation complexes are holding onto an arsenal that we, the people, and the governments aren't even privy to. It's the weirdest thing.
Yep. Strange.
Yeah. Take your M1 Abrams tank and watch as I melt it with a microwave or nuke your whole everything. Like,
well, that's why I always kind of laugh at the local militia guys, because I'm like, well, okay, you can go out and train with an M16 or an M4 or whatever, but if they come in with an F-22 Raptor, like your assault weapons aren't going to do much.
I follow that you have that position, right?
Yeah.
But I got 2 words for you to prove that your logic and reasoning is wrong.
I'm sure that it is.
Right? And I have 2 words for you. It's a historical precedent. It's called Viet Cong. Did we not have massive technological superiority in Vietnam?
Yeah. And they had tunnels and will.
How'd that work out for us?
Terribly.
They had wooden shoes rice, and AK-47s, and we lost.
Yep.
So in defense of the American militia, which according to the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, which came to us from our founding fathers, which happened to be Freemasons. What a weird coincidence.
Yes. But wasn't it Washington that said we shouldn't have a standing army, and that's why we need the militias?
Exactly. There's two and we've contemporarily we've been told that the standing army is the militia, and that's a lie.
It is. It's not the same thing.
Army. The militia is we the people.
Right.
And if we the people are properly coordinated in our own neighborhoods, neighbors helping neighbors, training for everything in the community to work as a neighborhood, up to and including the defense of your neighborhood, we wouldn't need standing armies, which was his point.
Yeah, we might not even have police officers if it weren't for free slaves.
If we had appropriate militias, we probably wouldn't need police departments.
Yeah.
The local population could just react accordingly and in real time.
It's really shocking.
There's a lot of monies that can be saved, and departments that would be abolished if we the people took up our true responsibility as citizens and engaged in a as the Second Amendment puts, a well-regulated militia, which just means properly trained.
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree. And when I make that joke, I make it in jest to the, the kind of stereotypical, not real militia, but more.
I totally get it. Like
Billy Bob and the boys.
Right. It's the basement dwellers that just got off their video games that are like, I'm a sniper now.
Right.
Right. I'm going back to General Washington, who was the general of the militia.
Yep.
Effectively, here's going full circle, right? There's 2 organizations that we can thank for our freedoms today: the Freemasons and the militia. And they both seem to be very heartily intertwined at the time that the Declaration of Independence was signed. If it weren't for Freemasons and the militia, you and I would not be here, sir. We would be eating tea and crumpets and paying taxes to the king.
Yep. Amen. And because they wouldn't cow down and line up and shoot straight ahead at each other like a bunch of idiots.
There's a lot to be said by not engaging your enemy that's an expert at a particular form of warfare in the same form of warfare that they're experts at. My grandfather would say, never engage a fool by their folly. And I would say never engage an expert in their expertise, especially when it's warfare.
Absolutely.
Don't do it the way that they're good at.
Absolutely.
Unconventional warfare has great value when you're going up the master of conventional warfare.
Hence deciphering.tv, y'all.
Bam.
Bam. All right. Well, we're going to end it on that note. Thank you so much, Eric. And like I said, I'm going to look into these things and we'll do another space soon. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Have a blessed night, Eric. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely, Gabe. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
All right, buddy. You have a good one.